Let's get back into it, baby. The whole plan began with my death. A stupid plan hatched by Morgan Fay to install her own daughter as the next master. But for it to work, Maya Fey would first have to die. The idea was for me to kill Maya and then have the blame pinned on Iris. What? That's stupid. The plan went wrong, but it seems to have succeeded anyway. I'm still confused. Because Pearl was supposed to summon her. Right? I don't know what's happening anymore. Wait a minute. Did you say the plan was to kill Maya Fey? Yes, you have a problem with that? Don't give us that nonsense. There's no way that... Watch yourself, Trite. You got a problem, solve it during cross-examination. That's one of my rules. Well, your rules fucking suck, so... Mr. No is correct, and by the way, that's one of my rules as well. Well, I'll respect you, Judge, but just know I don't respect him. To kill Maya? Could it be true? Of course it's true, Phoenix. Why are you even doubting that? Shit, where is my... Bam bam. You were executed last month, correct? Yes, I was hanged. It wasn't exactly pleasant. How did you manage to discuss the plan? When did you talk with Morgan Fay? Last year. She was transferred to the same detention center as me. Since I was on death row and she was my mother, it was actually pretty easy to meet with her. I see, so that's when you discussed the plan? Ha! Are you crazy? At first that woman was planning to kill me as well. Even though I'm her own daughter. All to make Pearl Fay the master of Kurine? She's a cold, twisted woman. She thought she could finally regain her lost honor. The honor she lost when her younger sister, Misty, took the place as the master. Ever since that day, she's been working on this plan. A plan, huh? Such a weird... I didn't get any health back! Oh god. Come out Pearl Fay, is that correct? Yes, though at first she had high hopes for the two of us. You and your twin sister, Iris. That's correct. Fortunately, neither of us had much spiritual power. That's why we were abandoned by her, along with our father. Abandoned? The only person I ever really cared about in life was myself. My sister was a nuisance, so I convinced my father to leave her at an old temple. You mean Iris? Yes. My father remarried a woman who also had a daughter. The less children you have, the more money there is to go around, right? And on top of that, my father had absolutely no interest in children in general. I see you missed a lot in the last 5 hours. Yes. Yes, you have. Dahlia and Iris are twins, and murder, and a body was flung across the bridge using a rope, and... How horrible. The really horrible one is that woman, that bitter, vengeful woman. It was her stubbornness that gave birth to that child, Pearl Fay. She was born with an abundance of spiritual power, unfortunately for her. Morgan Fay heaped all of her broken dreams, hopes and dreams on that poor child's back. All because of her pathetic dreams of having her bloodline become the main family. Maya would have to die? But why? What do you mean, why? For our bloodline to succeed as the main family, thus making Pearl the new master, the remaining descendants of the current master had to be taken care of. Duh! The Pearls would never agree to a plan like that. She adores Maya. How sad, you still don't get it, do you? What Pearl wanted had nothing to do with it. Morgan didn't care one bit about Pearl. The only thing she cared about was the position of the master. That's all. That's ridiculous. She was willing to sacrifice anything and anyone to achieve her goal. The life of her daughter, and naturally the life of Maya Fey as well. How could anyone do that? I don't know, man. She's like fucked up. Like, what do you expect? You were gonna kill Maya? Pearl didn't need to know anything about it. All she had to do was to follow the instructions in the letter and channel me. Then I would have simply used her body and finished the job. In any case, I'm already dead, and there's nothing any of you can do to me. Oh, so it is her spirit. Okay. I just still was not sure. Grr. So the plan was to blame the crime of the younger twin on Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple. She and I look absolutely identical. No one can tell us apart. If someone were to witness me killing Maya, naturally they would think it was Iris that had done it. And the witness in this case was a head nun, Sister Bikini. I never would have guessed she was going to return to Hazakura Temple that night, but she wound up seeing Iris's crime anyway. But why did you want to pin the murder on Iris in the first place? And are you a spirit or a real person? Please, I just need clarity. I'm so confused. She's a twin sister, isn't she? Twin sister? Don't make me laugh. She's nothing but a backstabber. I couldn't care less about her. Backstabber? You just don't understand. You never will. I'm getting a feeling I won't, actually. Anyway. Do you think the plan was a success? You heard me. Just as that woman had hoped. Maya Fey is dead. Well, we don't know that for sure. Now the title of the master will pass on to Pearl Fey. That's absurd. Maya's she's just trapped inside the sacred cavern. Really? You're as foolishly optimistic as ever, aren't you? My darling Feeny. Do you want to know the truth? Ever since we met, I've despised you. Your sniveling naivety. And your pathetic faith in other people. Dahlia's twin sister, Iris. I think. I just want to know one thing. What did you personally think of Morgan Fey's plan? I told you already, didn't I? It was a stupid plan. It had no point, no value other than fulfilling her own greedy desires, so why'd you go on with it? Yes, it was certainly nothing to be proud of. That's how you feel. Why'd you help her carry it out? Why would you do it? Why would you kill Maya? Right? Didn't she just say her and Iris weren't strong enough to do channeling? That's why I'm confused! I'm so confused! Is it actually her? I don't know! I just don't know. And because there had to be two people. Because there had to be one who pushed the body off the bridge and the other who caught it. No, it's not Pearl, because Pearl is like, we know where she is right now. That's what I thought at first too. I don't freaking know. I just don't freaking know, Your Honor. You may not understand it, being the kind, gentle soul that you are. You may not be able to appreciate why someone like me would help a woman like that. So then tell me why. Isn't it obvious? I'm not like that woman. I only act in my own self-interest. The reason I helped her was for myself. For my own personal satisfaction. What'd you say? This woman, Dahlia Hawthorne. She had her own reason for wanting Maya dead? Do you understand why I would kill Maya Fey now? What my goal was? No, I actually really don't. I actually have no idea what's happening anymore in this entire case. I'll be honest with you, Chief. Obviously, because you were helping Morgan Fay. Helping? Don't make me laugh. From the day I was born to the day I died, I never helped anyone. I lived for myself, and in the end, I died for myself. I thought that was obvious. So she wasn't actually cooperating with Morgan? She was just using Morgan for her own plan so she could accomplish her own goal. All I wanted to do was kill Maya Fey. That was the only way I could think of to get revenge. Revenge? Honestly, I have no choice but to present that piece of evidence. Can't believe it. She meant to kill Maya. Gotta keep a cool head, and I need to get more information out of her. It's the only way to understand this plan and what she was after as well. So I have to present evidence on it, okay. So I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember what happened in the last case. In the first one. Was it Mia who got it? Who got her, like... Was it Wright or Mia who got her put on death row? The case with the... It was Mia. Because it was the case with Phoenix. Okay, it was the first thing we did. So I think she just wants revenge on Mia by killing Maya. So I guess, like... Mia will be able to know because she does have like presence in the overworld or whatever. But like, I guess that must be it. But like, it's still stupid. This whole case just gets stupider and stupider. Could it be that your actual goal had nothing to do with Maya Fey herself? As I said, none of you have the power to punish me anymore, because I'm already dead. Well, I had the same problem, you see. You can't punish the dead, and you can't take revenge against them either. You want to take revenge on someone? I was sentenced to die because of that woman, Mia Fey. Somehow knew this was it. Did you? 'Cause I didn't. I wanted to send her a message. It was at her hands that I suffered my first humiliation. I wanted her to feel the same pain she made me feel. Sadly, when I realized revenge was impossible, I gave up. And the reason it was impossible? Was it perhaps because Mia Fey had already died? Yes. And I realized there's only one way to take revenge against the dead. And how do you do that? Even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on forever. I wanted to take away the person that Mia Fey loved most. I wanted to kill her with my own hands. That would be the one and only way I could take my revenge against Mia Fey. That was the reason I helped out with that woman's plans. Just for that? For that you would kill Maya? Your goal was no different than that of Morgan Fey. Well, I wouldn't say that's true. As they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. It's now the time. Really? What a cruel plan. Cruel, cold, and heartless. Don't waste your time preaching to the dead. I've already told you. There's not a thing you can do to me. Yeah, how can we make her suffer? What are ways we can make the spirit suffer? That night, at about 9:30 p.m., I materialized into this world. Wait, so is she a ghost? If you could do this, why not just, like, live your freaking life? Like, hello? What's going on here? quickly pinned my hair up, put on a demon warning hood. Then I picked up the staff that was by my side and left Hazakura Temple. So... Wait. Elise channeled? Misty Faye channeled her? That ridiculous head nun never noticed a thing. Wait, this doesn't make any sense. She left Maya Faye at the inner temple and wobbled back, clutching her poor old back. What'd you do then? It was easier to handle than I had hoped. I caught up with her in front of the stone lantern. Then I took out the dagger I got from the storeroom and... So then you're saying you stabbed Maya? It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that. What does that mean? No clear memory? I don't know. I think I was stabbed. You were stabbed? At the last minute? My Faye must have stabbed me. I'm sure of it. That's not like her at all. I wouldn't stab a french fry with a plastic fork. Anyway, I suddenly lost consciousness. Before I did, I scrawled her name on the lantern. Just as I was passing out, I wrote Maya behind my back. I had hoped it would cast suspicion on her. I can't believe she was saying that until the very bitter end. That's where my memory temporarily stops. It stops? I don't have any memory of actually killing Maya Faye with my own two hands. My very last memory was... Maya's terror-filled eyes. When I woke up after that, I was in the sacred cavern surrounded by darkness. You were in the sacred cavern? The entrance was sealed with one of those trick locks, but somehow I had been trapped in there. The more this goes on, the more I just didn't know it would be possible for me to get more and more confused than I already was. I feel like, how is this possible? But how'd you wind up in there? I'd like to know that myself. Anyway, I was worried. I didn't know whether or not Maya Faye was dead, and I swore I wouldn't return to the Underworld until I knew I had killed her myself. For a ghost, you're one tough cookie. I wanted to get out of there and make sure she was dead. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't get out. Trick lock stopped you, huh? I didn't know how to remove it. And you're saying you were actually confined against your will inside the sacred cavern? Yes. I want to get rid of that annoying lock as soon as possible, but it wasn't easy. I kept getting interrupted while I was working on it. Interrupted? It was early in the morning. Someone came into the training hall. What? Who? Could it have been Maya? I thought the same thing, but I couldn't see. Why not? If someone had spotted me, I would have lost my chance to take revenge. So I made sure to hide myself well at the back of the sacred cavern. Why did this happen? That morning, only 2 people could have gone into the training hall. Maya and Pearls. Pearls went there to cover the hanging scroll in gravy. Still, I finally managed to remove the lock, but I was too late. What do you mean by that? The flies had already started to gather. The bridge had been fixed and the police started their investigation, correct? Naturally, I couldn't go out. So instead, I returned to the cavern and put the lock back on myself. I realized I wouldn't get a chance to see Maya's corpse as I had hoped. But just then, Lady Luck showed up. Lady Luck? After that big earthquake, she showed up all by herself. The real Iris? This is so confusing. So... Because she couldn't have taken over Misty's body, because Misty's body was found, and she's here. And then how she... So she had to have been in Misty's body originally. But now maybe she's a ghost inside the cavern? What is happening? I'm gonna need like a full like Danganronpa breakdown after this. She said she'd come to make sure the sacred cavern was alright, stupid girl. I came out from the sacred cavern and got a feel for the situation. And I locked her away in my place. I'd finally learned exactly what had happened. It was then that I learned that the plan had actually succeeded. What do you mean your plan had succeeded? I misunderstood one thing, you see. That night, the one that had summoned me. I had assumed that it was Pearl Faye. Well, of course you would assume that it was written in the instructions. But I was wrong. The person that had actually called my spirit back was... Misty Faye. Picture book author. What? Okay, well we already got that part out. That's not the confusing part here. Well, that's really the only possibility, isn't it? After I lost consciousness in the garden. It was her body that was left lying there. Maya Faye. I wasn't able to kill her with my own hands after all. Even so, I made her commit the most vile sin a human can commit. And that is... matricide. The sin of killing her own mother. No way. The call. What is the meaning of this? It's true that I was the one who attacked Maya Faye, but even so, the murderer who actually snuffed out Misty Faye's life was none other than your darling little Maya. Ridiculous. That's nonsense. Are you sure about that? Just think about it. There's even evidence supporting these facts, isn't there? What? What do you mean? What is this so-called evidence? That Maya Faye has disappeared is evidence enough, isn't it? Huh? The idea that she's still in the sacred cavern is just ridiculous. She wasn't able to escape from the inner temple, that much is obvious. In that case, there's only one place she could be. Where? Do I have to spell it out? The bottom of Eagle River, where else? What? Eagle River? Maya Faye killed her long-lost mother. Can you imagine the guilt she must have felt when she realized that? That's why she threw herself into the Eagle River. Most bodies that wind up in there are lost forever. So, what do you have to say now, Feeny? Oops. Sorry, that's my phone. What kind of ringtone is that? What ringtone is that? Why did I read it like that before? Godot here. Okay. Thanks. Was it something important? They just finished removing the locks from the sacred cavern. That's great. What about Maya? There was a woman in the cave. Was it Maya Faye? It was the accused. Sister Iris. Huh? Wait, so she did switch with her actual sister. My brain hurts. My brain is broken from this. Don't look so surprised. I locked her in there yesterday. I just finished telling you that. So, what about Maya? Where is she? There was no one else found inside the sacred cavern. No, it can't be. I told you, didn't I? She's dead. No. No! There's no way! It seems that this case has come to an end. A tragic end. Sadly, it appears the killer of Elise Denham, also known as Misty Faye, was her own daughter, Maya Faye. Overcome with guilt for what she had done. I think Dahlia's being channeled by Maya. That's what you need to prove. That's what I think too. Maya Faye jumped to her death into the raging waters of the Eagle River. Can't be. Trent, have you ever heard this one? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Yeah, I watched Sherlock Holmes BBC. You look like someone who'd watch Sherlock Holmes BBC. Yeah, it adds up. No matter how improbable it may seem. Just like in Sherlock Holmes BBC. What is that supposed to mean, Professor Prosecutor Godot? According to this witness, Maya Faye threw herself into the Eagle River. However, is that really the truth? Remember, this woman testified earlier that the bridge was already on fire when the murder taking place. That was taking place in the garden. Shut up! I know I said professor! Which means that Maya had thrown herself into the river. It must have been from the inner temple side near the bridge. That's right, that's where she jumped from. That's impossible. It's impossible to jump into the river from there. What? Don't get your panties all twisted up, Trey. Just relax and think through the whole thing again. So it's impossible? I couldn't have thrown herself into Eagle River? Well, Mr. Wright, Miss Hawthorne claims Miss Faye threw herself into the river from the inner temple side. Too many evidence that refutes this claim. It's impossible from that side. Okay. So I think it's okay. So it's like the last trial. I think it was the last one, right? Where it's impossible because there's a cliff here. So if she were to jump from here, she would just die. Which I think is possible regardless, but we didn't find her body, so I guess that's what they're saying. Yeah, take a look at this map. It's impossible to jump into the Eagle River from the inner temple side. No one knows that better than this witness. What did you say? 11 years ago? You jumped into the very same river. Okay, so I'm not going insane, right? I was like, is this not the same place where like the last case took place? But then I realized like it's several years later, so of course the bridge is fixed now. That makes sense. But I was like, this is the same river, isn't it? And it is. It was in fact the same river. I was right. Just take a look at this overhead map. Right? Because this is where she took the picture from, right? From the last trial. And then it couldn't work out because the cars were here. Yeah. I remember things sometimes. Below the cliff on the inner temple side is a big rock shelf. Oh! You're right! She wouldn't have reached the river if she had jumped off from there. In other words, you're stupid. And if she had jumped, we should be able to see her body in this photo. Ah. Ha. So So you finally figured it out. You... No! Order! You're just playing with me. My escape body is at the bottom of Eagle River. There's nowhere else she could possibly be hiding. Objection, blah blah. True. Miss Hawthorne, have you ever heard this one before? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Yes, just a few minutes ago. My Faye was inside the sacred cavern. We now know that she didn't throw herself into Eagle River. Correct. That eliminates all the most likely possibilities. Now, although it seems improbable, there's still one other place she could be. What? What is this one possibility you are talking about? That's obviously a bluff. So where's her dead body then? Finally, I think the pieces are falling into place. There's still quite a few things that haven't fallen into place, but I guess, buddy. Normally the living have no way to punish the dead. I think there's a way to give Dahlia Hawthorne the ultimate punishment. Is there? Shall I tell you, Miss Hawthorne? Can I tell you where Maya is in this very instant? Maya Faye is. In this very gore room. 'Cause she's you. There's only one possibility left. Namely, she's right here in this very courtroom. What? Maya Faye's here? You say she's here in my courtroom. Dahlia Hawthorne, it seemed to recall that you said I had misunderstood one thing, you see. So what? But I think there's one more thing you misunderstood. What do you mean? My psych bar is dangerously low because of one section I lost all of it in. One singular part, I wasn't sure if I presented the right evidence, and then I was like, okay, maybe it's not this part. And then I just kept losing health, and then it turns out I had to give the evidence on a different statement, and that was awful. Tell me something. At this very moment, who was channeling Dahlia Hawthorne? Why, that's obvious. It's Pearl Faye, a pathetic little sniveling runt. You're wrong. Pearl's tried, but she couldn't do it.
I never felt channeling someone. This is the first time it's happened.
Isn't there any explanation for why you couldn't channel a spirit?
Could have been someone else was already channeling the same spirit.
Was it Pearl Cyclox? I don't think I had a problem with Pearl Cyclox, did I? I don't remember. I know there was one Cyclox that I struggled with, but I don't remember if it was Pearl's or someone else's. Oh no, the gravy I got like immediately. That was funny. Someone called me before Pearl did, but who? Pearl's even tried again on the day after the crime, but she couldn't do it. What could that mean? I think the truth is becoming clearer to you right about now, am I correct? It wasn't Pearls that channeled you. There was someone who called you before she could. And that person was Maya Faye! Well, I only picked up because Gravely, she had asked before. This is an easy one. Pearls couldn't do it, and Misty Faye is gone. There's only one possibility left. Come on already, I can't stand the tension. Dahlia Hawthorne? The person channeling you right now must be Maya Faye. Oh, what? But how could that be? Remember what this witness Dahlia Hawthorne said about her goal? She said that her goal was to kill Maya Faye. Yes, that's right. But if Maya channeled the spirit, someone was trying to kill her. Well, Gramps, what would happen? Could it be? Looks like you finally understand, Your Honor. Well, I don't. What are you going on about? What I'm going on about is the reason Maya channeled you. And there's only one reason. To protect herself from you. To protect herself? From me? Yes. On the night of the crime, you were only interested in one thing. Killing Maya Fey. The path back to Hazakura was closed off and there was nowhere for her to run. So then the problem became... where would be the safest place to hide? You mean... that's when she channeled me? All this time you thought you'd been channeled by pearls. That's why it never occurred to you. That Maya's hiding place was you. No. No. Don't say that. Oh my god. You're saying that I, Dahlia Hawthorne, was played for a fool by that little whelp? Yeah. Maya Fey killed herself, isn't that obvious? Sorry, but nope. It would have been impossible for her to jump into the Eagle River. This was the only avenue escape open to Maya. The only way that Maya could disappear from the inner temple. I don't believe you. Gotta say it was a galaxy brain move from Maya. Like, for real, for real. On the spot. Stupid girl like that who has never been out in the real world. She could never have come up with a plan like that. Who could have ever given her such a brilliant idea? Well, me, of course. Oh, me, of course. Me. Mia. Mia? Mia Fey. It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne. So it's true. It was you. Yes. Ha. You're something else. But what? What are you doing here? That hair. It's pearls, right? Tell me something, Dahlia. I want you to think back to that night one more time. You just cornered Maya in the Inner Temple's garden. And then, in the final moments of the fight, you lost consciousness. Pearls in the courtroom and Dahlia felt and I think she probably just walked in or something. I don't know. I don't know. I was stabbed by Maya Fey. Actually, Maya lost consciousness at the same time as you. She did. Not terribly surprising since she was about to be killed. When she woke up, she was in the training hall. That's when Maya decided she needed help, so she channeled me. She explained in a memo the situation she was in. She asked me what I thought she should do. She did that? I can't believe it. Of course I didn't have all the details, but one thing was perfectly clear. And that was... I knew that you couldn't be allowed to wander free. Free? What do you mean? It was a race against time, so I wrote down 2 things that Maya had to do. Channel Dahlia the Hawthorne as soon as possible, and lock herself in the sacred cavern until help arrived. So it was Maya who put that lock on there. Yes, but why do you order her to do those 2 things? If she hadn't done it, Dahlia Hawthorne would have been channeled by someone else. By one Pearl Fey. But Pearls? Yes, Pearl didn't properly understand the plan, so all she was trying to do was follow her mother Morgan Fey's instructions. If she had succeeded in channeling Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit, things would have turned out very badly, to put it mildly. So that's how it was. Dahlia Hawthorne would have used the body of Pearl Fey to kill Maya at all costs. Yes, it certainly sounded like that was the intent all along. How dare you? I won't forget this. Why not just admit it, Dahlia Hawthorne? Your little plan was nothing but a big failure. Yes, another failure to add to the pile of shame, wouldn't you say? What do you mean by another? Think about it, Dahlia. Remember all your past crimes? Not a single one of them was a success. They all ended in failure, idiot. Get owned. What? How dare you? 11 years ago? The fake kidnapping? Your very first crime. You got your hands on a $2 million diamond, but... Mr. Terry Falls escaped and went to meet with Valerie Hawthorne. The truth was exposed. Shut your mouth, that wasn't my fault. It was because of that stupid oaf of a prisoner and that weakling of a policewoman. And then, 1 year later, you tried to kill me. Well, I'm still alive, but... You wound up killing someone else. And then you went to jail, idiot. Imagine going to jail for your crimes, LMAO. Big L. Biggest L, in fact. As a result, you were sentenced to death. It's one stupid move for you after another. Oh, one stupid move after another for you, but it's no longer funny. You wipe that smug, happy-go-lucky smile off your face. And now this. You messed up again. You let Maya Fey escape. Idiot. Even though she was right there in front of you. You dumbass. Mia Fey. Mia Fey, Mia Fey, Mia Fey! You spinster. I was supposed to kill Maya Fey like I swore I would. And if only you had gone this spiky-haired jerk, the guilty verdict, I wouldn't have been hanged to death. True. But I think you finally understand, Dahlia Hawthorne. You will never defeat me. What? What did you say? Whether you're alive, dead, or somewhere in between, you will never defeat me. As long as I'm around, you're destined to lose for all eternity. I remember what you said earlier in the trial. You said there was no way we could punish you. Because you were already dead. What about it? Then you said, even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on forever. That's very true, Dahlia. And that's exactly the punishment you'll never be able to escape from. For all of eternity, you'll have to remain as Dahlia Hawthorne. A miserable, pathetic, weak creature who can never win at anything. And for you, there is no escape from that, no hope of freedom. Since the day you were executed, the narrow bridge that once stretched out in front of you has been burnt to a crisp. You're wrong. It can't be. How could I lose to the likes of you? It no longer matters. I don't care whether you win or lose anymore. The only thing I want is for you to come out of Maya's body right now. Oh my god. I'm not ready. Not ready to go. Oh my god. Jesus Christ!
Nick. Sis.
Oh my god, she passed out. Understandable. Now then, I assume you are the real Iris? Yes, I was just rescued from the sacred cavern. I must say, you and your twin sister are indeed identical from what I can see. In any case, it appears that everything has finally been cleared up. Mr. Godot, What happened to Dahlia Hawthorne? If you ask me, Your Honor, it looks like she went back to hell. Back to the hell she came from. It seems that Misty Faye wasn't the only victim of this crime. Maya Faye, as well as the young Pearl Faye, were also victims of this wicked and selfish plan. Yes, Your Honor. The tragedy of Medium Valley has finally come to an end, it seems. It would be best for everyone if no further attempt was made to channel that spirit again. Your Honor? Yes, what is it? About this whole spirit medium thing. It's almost weird how comfortable you seem to be with the concept now. Well, to be frank, my younger brother's quite judgmental. He often criticizes me for not studying hard enough. That's why I made a concerted effort to study up on the Quran channeling technique. Hey, isn't that the new year's issue of Occult? I've seen quite a few things in my many years on the bench. And in all that time, I finally learned this one thing. Each case is different and takes place in its own world, if you will. In order to fully understand that world, first we have to immerse ourselves in it completely. And that's where my brother and I used to differ. Never thought of it that way. Sure. At any rate, it's time to pass judgment in the case of Iris of Hazakura Temple.
Objection!
Do not. You're a little too fast with that gavel, Your Honor. What do you mean by that, Mr. Godot? This trial, it isn't over yet. That's what he means. What? That's right. Or what Miss Evil Spirit said in her testimony. Huh? Dahlia's testimony? Caught up with her in front of the stone lantern. Then I took out the dagger I got from the storeroom and... It's strange, but... I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that. I think I was stabbed. This is Dahlia Hawthorne was about to attack Maya. She was stabbed and killed by someone. Yes, that's right. The person that was ultimately killed was the spirit medium that channeled Dahlia. At least Denim, no. Misty Faye. But who killed her? We still don't know who did it. This isn't over? Unless someone else is found guilty, the accused is still on trial. We can't let her walk until there's evidence that proves her innocence. Well, what could possibly prove her innocence at this point? But this court isn't prepared for any further testimony. Prosecution ready to call her final witness. A final witness? This one will clear up the whole mystery. The mystery of who killed Misty Faye. Indeed. Is it really alright, Mr. Prosecutor? Of course it's alright, Madam Attorney. Very well then. Who is this final witness? Isn't it obvious? There's one person who saw the whole event and will put the final dagger in this case. Someone who saw the murder take place? The very person who saw her mother killed in front of her own eyes. You mean Maya? She can't testify after what she's just been through. We need to find the truth. Prosecution calls Maya Faye to the witness stand. Very well, but first we'll take a brief recess. We'll have to wait for Miss Faye to recover before summoning her. Once we receive the doctor's permission, we will proceed with the trial. Hey, Trite, I have something to say to you, so listen up. What is it? I don't think much of you as a lawyer. It's always the same with you. You somehow managed to just squeak by without even a faint understanding of the case. I sure didn't! You're not wrong. I'm still not entirely sure what happened, if I'm being honest. some beautiful woman always seems to come dashing at the last minute to save you. You've got some nerve. But that's not going to happen this time. This time, you're going to have to do this by yourself. Okay. That's enough. This court is now in recess. I'm truly sorry about everything. You were working so hard to defend me. I was missing all day and we didn't even have a chance to talk. She's right. When I met Iris at the training hall yesterday, they had already switched places. And Iris was inside the sacred cavern. I wanted to at least be in the defendant's box today to root you on. Well, it wasn't your fault. You were locked up this whole time. There's something more important than that, though. I had to ask you. Why did you help your sister out as much as you did? Huh? If you had tried to get help at the sacred cavern yesterday, you wouldn't have spent the entire day locked up in there. My sister? I felt sorry for her. She was abandoned by her mother and never got any love from her father either. Yes, but it was the same for you too, wasn't it? Yes, but at least I had Sister Bikini, who was like a mother to me. If only Dolly had come to me with Hazakura Temple. Ow. I always loved her. Dolly was always so smart, so strong. She never complained about a thing. That's why I promised her that I would help her. Talking about the fake kidnapping case 11 years ago? Yes. I wanted to be useful to her in some way. Yeah, but how'd you help? No one's ever said how you helped with that one. But as usual, I was too cowardly. At the last minute, I ran away. Because of that, Dahlia's stepsister Valerie ended up... That was the case that wounded Mia so badly. But things didn't end there, of course. Some people suspected that my sister was involved in the murder. Some people? You must mean. Yes, 2 defense attorneys. Mia Fey, Diego Armando. After poisoning Mr. Armando, who was getting too close to learning the truth, Dolly even tried to kill the person who had unknowingly hid the poison for her. You. That's right. She did try to kill me. Iris, there's one more thing that I have to ask you. Yes, what is it? On the night of the murder, the person that cleaned up the corpse of the victim, Elise Denham, was it really you? Yes, it was me. That night after I rang the lights out bell, I went back to my room. At around 10:30, I received a call on my cell phone. There's a problem. Come to the temple right away. I got on the snowmobile and headed for the inner temple, but the path to the inner temple was cut off. Oh, it passed the temple was cut off, right? Exactly. We can't just leave the body here. So you've got to do exactly as I say, got it? Will you be a voice actor? I wish my voice acting was that good. There she goes. It was me. I was the one that received her body. The murder weapon had been left in her body so she wouldn't bleed too much. Yeah, and when her body was flung across the river, everything was hunky-dory. The staff stayed in there and everything. Yep. Staff that Mystic Elise always held. I knew it. So the actual murder weapon was the staff. Yes, that's right. I brought the body back to Hazakura Temple on the snowmobile. Hey, I saw you off YouTube. Hello, welcome from YouTube. Yeah, her staff has a sword in it. It's pretty cool. Take the place. This is the voice actor for Rick and Morty. I wish I could do those voices. Oh my god. Why did you alter the body? Rick? Fuck, I don't know how he sounds. I've never watched Rick and Morty. One of my friends does a great impression of both of them, though. I'll practice it. No, most of it consists of birds. No, that's Rick. I think Morty is like the baby, right? Like the kid with the brown hair and the yellow shirt. A Rick? I don't know what he sounds like. I'll have to look it up. Oh, yeah. Ah, jeez. Yeah, don't worry, guys. For next stream, I'll be sure to perfectly practice my my Morty impression from Rick and Morty. Don't worry. That's what Mr. Bot just said. Didn't want anyone to know that the staff was the murder weapon. Didn't want to leave anything that would lead back to Misty Faye. So I just turned a robe and stabbed her with the Shinchishito. I wiped the blood off the staff's blade and left it next to her on the ground. Iris, just tell me one last thing. Tell me the name of the person that called your cell phone the real killer. Sorry, Mr. Wright. I can't do it. I can't say who did it. It's your sister! Just say it's your goddamn sister! She's dead. She was already put on trial for murder and was killed for murdering somebody. You might as well just say it was your fucking sister. I don't understand what the problem is here, buddy. I see. Defendant. Yes. Judge is calling you. He wants to see you in his chambers. Need some questions about Dahlia Hathorn. Alright. Well then, I'll see you later. There's something I want to tell you. Oh, okay. Something she wants to tell me? So it's true. Iris cooperated with the killer. Maybe even from the very beginning. Phoenix. Mia? How is Maya doing? Physically, I'm not worried. She'll recover completely. But emotionally, she's been hurt very badly by this case. I see. You don't mean she's learned who Elise Denham really was? Yes. I went to the medical office and talked with her. I told her everything I knew. But why? Maya's stronger than you think. Pearl Mia is so jarring. I agree. I actually hate it. I knew she could take it. All of it. What do you mean by that? I want you to figure that answer out by yourself. What? Why are you being cryptic? Just say that she's a strong person. Hello? Trial's about to restart. The real killer? Do you know who it is yet? Wait, okay, sorry, I forgot to say my thoughts. Okay, here's my thoughts. We're making predictions on who the real killer is, right? I think that it's Misty Faye herself. I think that she stabbed herself, so that way she wouldn't attack Maya, and Maya wouldn't have to deal with the guilt of attacking her. That's what I think. Alright, I'm calling it now. Iris wouldn't tell me who called her, but still. I think this may be, I know who it was. No, wait. But then how did she call her and then swung her body over? Did she swing herself over? That would be wild. That night the victim was killed in the garden of the Inner Temple, and the criminal wasn't just there by accident. Which means that the killer knew of Dahlia's plan from the very beginning. And that's why she channeled her. I see. And one more thing. The victim was moved to the Hazakura temple side by pendulum. In other words, the criminal couldn't cross the bridge. That means they were stuck on the Inner Temple side for almost an entire day. Exactly, so the culprit was someone that wasn't in Hazakura temple the following day. That's as much help as I can give you. The rest of the battle's yours to win, or lose. Okay, I got it. Thanks, Mia. Cryptic bitch. Finally, it's almost time to bring this case to an end. What exactly did Maya see anyway? And who was it that actually killed Misty Faye? whatever it was, I had to prove it. Me all by myself. Great. 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 We're at the 6-hour mark, baby, and I still have this last part of the trial to go. Yeehaw! And it's what, 12:20 a.m. Well, we just had to keep going, I suppose. Couldn't it theoretically be Morgan Faye? I guess, if she escaped prison. Now then, before we proceed any further, I'm going to announce— why am I suddenly Southern? I'm going to announce the results of the test we had performed earlier. Tests? Yes, tests. On the bloody dagger that was found stuck in the pine tree. Oh yeah, that. Totally forgot about it. That's the weapon that Maya Fey used when she fought with the victim. So what are the results? Was it the victim's blood or... Due to time constraints, a full test was impossible. However, there's one thing we can say with certainty. The blood that was on the dagger was not the victim's blood. How? How? Alright, well, I'm confused again. So it wasn't Misty's blood on the dagger. And whose was it? No, literally, who could it have been? Exactly. I'm sure both the defense and the prosecution know this, but this trial is rapidly coming to a close. Both sides will need to show firm evidence with their claims. I understand, Your Honor. From what I've heard, the witness is dangerously weak, physically speaking. So let's finish this quickly. I agree, let's finish this quickly. Very well, please bring in the last witness. I can't take it anymore, guys. I'm confused. This trial has done nothing but confuse me. I feel like my brain is breaking. Like, literally, I feel like it's like burnt out. My brain can't take it anymore. I'm so tired of thinking thoughts. Witness, please tell us your name and profession. Maya Fey. My profession is... I'm the assistant manager at Wright & Co. Law Offices. Maya. According to the magazine I have here, you're a spirit medium of the Quran channeling technique. I'm frightened. The Fae clan... I don't want any more to do with it. Oh, Maya. Pain the Fae bloodline causes must be unbearable. Very well. Now then, Miss Faye, when the event occurred, you were in the Garden of the Inner Temple. Now I'm Southern again, but it's just so easy to slip into a Southern accent. You know how it is. You witnessed the moment of Miss Elise Denham's murder. Is this correct? I didn't see anything. Straighten up this instant, young lady. Huh? Pick your head up and speak clearly. There's always time for crying later. But Your mother was killed right in front of you. No! Hello? Sir? Your mother was killed right in front of you! Oh my god. Something you can do to change that fact. But there's something you can do. You could finish this. You've been watching the whole thing, right? You've seen the witnesses come out and you've seen us squeeze the truth out of them. Now it's your turn. Let's hear your testimony. On the night of the crime, what exactly did you happen to see? What did you see happen? Witness, if you please. Yes, Your Honor. Bro, like, hello? Girl, you can't be like, yeah, you just saw your mom who you haven't seen 17 years die in front of you and you may have killed her, but, like, get it to fucking together, Maya, okay? We need you to testify, okay? And that's more important, I'm sorry your mom who you haven't seen in 17 years died. You know, your dead mother who you may or may not have killed. You know, your mother who died. Sorry about that, but you gotta testify. Like, what's wrong with him? Why did I ever like him? I was passing through the garden on the way to a spare prep room when it happened. Suddenly, someone struck me over the head. Stumbled and ended up against the stone lantern. I think I screamed, "Help me!" And something warm splashed over me. That's when I lost consciousness. Listen, Emma, you've seen me go over this whole arc, this entire stream. I have officially declared that I hate him. I hate him so much. There is nothing he can do to redeem himself. Okay, I'll talk about it at the end. I don't know if I'm gonna go into spoiler territory if I do. So we'll talk about it later. So he was struck on the head. I suppose it must have been this staff. Maya, the person who hit you. It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it? I'm sorry, Nick. I couldn't see. I don't know who it was. Maya, think hard. Sorry, Nick, but I really couldn't. Ha. Can't say it was an especially good night for young ladies to be walking around alone. Shut up! It seems that it'll be hard to determine the criminal through testimony alone. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Please begin your cross-examination. Maya, hang in there. She doesn't look well at all. Alright, time to press everything again. Who else was on the inner temple side that night? Well, Sister Bikini, of course, but I remember her saying that Iris would be coming later as well. The day after the incident, Edgeworth met Bikini at Hazakura Temple. Maybe she couldn't be the criminal. So then, did Iris actually come later like she said? Well, let me think. She seems confused. It's probably because she's so tired. No, I'm sure I didn't see her. She must have come while I was preparing for the training. Who did it? Who hit you? Well, I didn't see who it was. I was hit from behind. You didn't see the person? But after that, your attacker was in front of you. How could you not see who it was? Alright, chill out, Phoenix. Oh, let me think for a sec. I'm sorry, I just can't remember. Maya's really having a hard time. What should I do? Leave her alone. Considering the conditions of the crime scene, it's not surprising she didn't see her attacker. Heh. So it looks like even you've got some compassion. Judging by the testimony thus far, the identity of the attacker was most likely the spirit that was channeled by Elise Denham, Dahlia Hawthorne. Very well, please continue with your testimony. What happened after you were struck on the head? Also, I still only have 2 health bars, so we're gonna have to try our damnedest here. What happened afterwards? My attacker was in front of me, blocking off my escape. I think. You think? After getting hit like that, I was in a state of panic. There were only 2 things rolling around in my mind at the time. Well, now it's beginning to get interesting. So, what were the 2 things rolling around in your mind? My name is Maya Fey. 1 + 1 = 2. You see, for some crazy reason, I was afraid I was gonna lose my memory. I know it's odd considering my life was in danger, but that's how it was. That's not odd at all. It's even. You get it? Because 2? Anyway, your actions are understandable given the circumstances. So what'd you do then? You think you screamed, but you're not sure? Listen, I was a complete wreck. It was dark and I couldn't see my attacker. Was it a man, a woman, an adult, a child? I had no idea. I was scared out of my wits. Leave me, my dear. I'm certain I would have soiled my robes. I thought this person might attack me, so I... Anyway, I'm pretty sure I screamed. I thought that was my last hope. Wow, sounds like poor little Maya really was out of her mind. I wonder what she meant by last hope. What do? Do I press her for more details? Sure. Wait a minute, Maya. What's this my last hope stuff? What? What do you mean by your last hope? No. That's what you said. You said my last hope. Huh? What? I said what? Look, you were facing an attacker that you couldn't see and you screamed, right? You screamed, help me. Yeah. But you testified that you screamed that because you thought it was your last hope. Oh, well, you know. It's like, what do you call it when that happens? Maya's not doing so well up there. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. I remember now. I was facing my attacker, but that's not who I was screaming at. What did you just say? Yeah, that's right. It was the person behind my attacker that I was yelling at. That's who I was screaming at for help. What? Ah! What is it now? I messed up. I didn't mean to let that slip out. What? What is happening? Huh? Witness, are you absolutely sure of what you're saying? Behind the attacker, there was another person? I am, well, I meant to keep that part a secret. What have I done? Heh. It takes a ton of pressure to make a diamond. That's what I always say. A ton of pressure? You're in a court of law here. You can't make things up or try to hide things in this chamber. Witness, the information you presented is vital to the case. I want you to add it to your testimony. See a man behind my attacker by the light of a stone lantern. But wasn't there no light? Wasn't there no light from the lantern? Didn't we establish that? Theoretically? Was not lit the night of the crime. See? A man? So there was a man standing behind your attacker? Yeah. That man. He's the killer. He stabbed her from behind. He's the one who killed Elise Denham. Otherwise known as Misty Faye, your mother. Killer? Maya, you know who killed your mother, don't you? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? What is happening? To be frank, Your Honor, I think she's in shock and quite confused. That's why she hasn't noticed the huge problem with her testimony. Huh? What do you mean? What problem? Maya, on the night of the crime, that stone lantern was out of commission. Huh? What? It's true. There's no light anywhere in that garden that night. No. What is happening? Order the court, Mr. Godot, explain this. Add the appearance of milk to the perfect, clear darkness of coffee. Stir. That is the state of the witness's mind right now. A cup of cafe a la. Cafe ole? Is that even legal? Mr. Tright's words are the milk and you are the spoon, Your Honor. I'm a spoon. I'm no spoony pot, I'll have you know. You must have noticed it too, right? This witness's mental state is highly unstable right now. Oh no shit! I wonder why that is! Not hard to understand why she'd make a little mistake like that. Sorry, but that's not gonna cut it. What'd you say? There truly was no light in the garden. Then there's a fatal contradiction in the witness's last bit of testimony.
Nick.
May I? Recall the witness's statement about her attacker. She said that she didn't know if it was a man or a woman, an adult or a child. And yet, the witness could describe a person that was standing behind her attacker, and she quite clearly described him as a man. Ha! In other words, that would have to mean that Maya actually saw our mystery person, despite it being so dark that she couldn't see the face of her own attacker.
No!
The order? What the world does this all mean, Mr. Wright? I don't fucking know. Are you saying Miss Faye saw the real killer under pitch black conditions?
Objection!
Trite, do you have any idea what you're proposing? How could she have seen in the dark? There was no other light source at the scene. There's some things that you can only see in the dark, Mr. Godot. Maya, you did see who the killer was in the dark. And now, you're trying to cover for him. Cover for the man that killed her mother? There's only one conclusion I can draw from this. You know who this man is.
Please, Nick. I don't know anything. Please, I'm begging you.
Ha! You talk a good game, Trite, but let's see if you can walk the walk. It was pitch black, so what could the witness see? I'm calling your bluff.
No, Nick, don't. Please, stop.
Maya's dead set on protecting this guy. The man who murdered Maya's long-lost mother. But I can't let him get away with it. I'm a lawyer. An officer of the court. I'm here to find the truth. Fuck Maya's feelings. Who cares if her mom just died? Let's rip more people out of her life. Let's go. Alright, Mr. Wright, time to show us what you've got. Who was this person that you say Miss Faye saw in the darkness? Alright, so it's a guy. So it could be Godot, it could be Gumshoe, it could be Larry, or it could be Miles. But Miles was out of the country, so it's not him. And Mr. Larry was on our side of the world. And so was Mr. Gumshoe. Because he was fixing the bridge. So that means it has to be Godot? But I don't fucking understand why! Why would it be him? How? Why was he there? Why would he stab the mom? I don't fucking understand anything happening. I mean, it's him, but like, why? Like, how and why? But like, more importantly, like, why? Godot is related to the guy Dahlia poisoned, I'm guessing. I feel like they've made it really obvious who he is. But I don't know if they've really outright said it, so we'll just keep going, I suppose. Because it was pitch black, Miss Faye was able to recognize the killer easily. I'm sure the court would like to see it for itself how this is possible, yes? What? But how do you propose to show us something like that? It's easy. We just need to recreate the conditions of that night. Conditions? Your Honor, the defense officially requests that all the lights in this courtroom be turned off. What a fucking weird thing. What this is, but it can't be. That was a nice bit of deduction. Try it. Well, everyone, this is the man Maya saw on the night of the murder. Order! Prosecutor Godot, what is the meaning of this? Surely you must be shocked to hear yourself accused of such a thing. Why aren't you denying it? Your Honor, you're asking the wrong person. What do you mean by that? You got questioned as the witness. That's one of my rules. Well, Maya, how about it? What you saw that night? Was it 3 glowing red lights? Well, witness, answer the question.
You're wrong. I never saw that.
Maya?
I thought the person that stabbed my mother was a man. For a totally different reason.
What?
Witness, Mr. Wright, what the?
Stop your chattering, Your Honor.
Chattering?
It's worth asking. Ask the witness. That's one of my rules.
Alright. Well, then let's continue with the testimony. Please tell us how you knew the killer was a man. Yes, Your Honor. Didn't realize it until after I woke up, but... When I came to, I was just lying there on the training hall floor. By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed. The torches were lit and the body was gone. And all the snow around the snow lantern had been carefully cleaned up too. Since the person did all that work alone, I just assumed it was a man.
Alright, well now we're all getting sexist in this house.
So it was after the crime took place that the witness came to think the killer was a man. Yes, that's right. I'm sorry, Your Honor, No need to apologize. As Mr. Godot said, you're utterly exhausted. It's only natural that you would be a little confused. Also, if you consider the situation you described, it doesn't seem too much like of a stretch to assume the culprit was a man. Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination.
Oh my god, my throat is fucking dying. So you lost consciousness when you were in the garden, is that right?
Yes, I think it happened when the victim was stabbed. So then the person that carried you into the inner temple, it could have only been the killer. That's what I think, too. So the killer carried Maya into the inner temple.
Actually, the killer must have done it, right?
Yes, I think so.
But why would the killer tamper with the crime scene like that? There must have been something that the killer desperately wanted to hide.
I don't know.
Looks like she doesn't have enough confidence. I think I need to gather some more information before I ask her again. Okay. Torches were lit.
Yes, that's how I noticed that the whole scene had changed.
Oh my god, is this why he was so freaked out as to why there was blood in the lantern before? He was I was so confused why he was so distraught over that one fact. I was like, okay, does this change your prosecution in some way? What happened here? But I see what the problem is now. Maybe.
Yes, that's how I noticed that the whole scene had changed.
I'm gonna say it was the killer who lit the torches. I mean, who else could it be?
The killer probably lit them since it'd be impossible to do any cover-up work in the dark. However, if that's true, there's one thing that still bothers me. Why the killer go to the effort of moving the body?
It's true, it's hard to see how that would be of any advantage to the killer. The only one who would gain anything from that would be the only person that was at the inner temple, Maya.
Very well, let's hear some more about the condition of the crime scene.
So you're saying the killer cleaned up the snow? It did look really odd. Snow was removed in an unnaturally looking rectangular shape around the lantern. There were a lot of shovels around the inner temple, but they're all really heavy. Way too heavy for me to use.
An odd fellow indeed, this killer. Why on earth would anyone want to take the snow away?
Well, there's one thing I could think of. Didn't you say that a lot of the victim's blood sprayed onto the snow? Yeah. There it collapsed and ended up being splattered. In other words, the killer's purpose was to hide the bloody snow. I think that's the most reasonable explanation.
Perhaps. However, there's something that's bothering me. If the killer just wanted to hide the snow with blood on it, there's no need to remove that amount.
I was thinking that too. That's true. He could have scooped up just the snow that was stained with blood.
It looks like there's some mysteries behind this issue.
But I think this will help explain them. So you're saying that you never saw the killer, right?
Yes.
Earlier you were very clearly stated that you saw a man behind your attacker. Nick, I'm sorry. The killer certainly went through a lot of trouble, moving the body by the pendulum, manipulating the crime scene, but for what purpose? Why do all that? Maybe Maya knows more than she's letting on. Was he trying to protect her? Is that why he was upset that the thing said Maya as well? Because he was trying to, like, prove that it's not Maya, because Maya's Mia's sister, and he's in love with Mia? I don't know. Like, I think that he tried stabbing, like, Misty because he saw that she was gonna attack Maya. And obviously she didn't look like Misty, she looked like Dahlia at the time. Dahlia. And also he knew Dahlia because Dahlia was the one who killed him. So either he was trying to protect her or it was revenge. That's what I think. So you lost consciousness when you were in the garden, is that right? Yes, I think it happened when the victim was stabbed. Oh wait, I already read this. Wait, which is the statement I had to press again? Yes, I think so, but why did the killer plan for the crime scene like that? There must have been something that the killer just desperately wanted to hide. The truth is, when I saw the crime scene, I felt something. You did? Yes, I felt like the killer was hiding the evidence for me. For my sake.
What, hiding it for you?
Everyone knew that I was the only one at the inner temple that night. If Sister Bikini had come back and looked at the garden, she may have thought that you had done it.
No, she definitely would have thought so. And you're saying that's why the killer cleaned up the crime scene to make it look like nothing had happened?
Yes, I'm sure of it.
Well, that's certainly an important piece of information. I want you to add that to your testimony.
Yes, Your Honor. I did it for your sake? Well, if finding the blood hadn't been removed, it would have immediately been the prime suspect, right?
Yes, I suppose that's true.
Yeah, and if that had happened, the body would have caused some other problems, too. If her real identity had come out right then, it would have been terrible. Master of Crane, killed my own daughter. I don't think Maya would have been able to handle it.
But still, it's rather difficult to fathom the killer's motives. What reason is there to go through that much trouble to protect you?
I think I'm right. I think I'm right. I think that he did clean it up for her sake. And I remember that's why I said I think that he was so upset about the like the Maya on the thing was because it was like the one thing he had overlooked, and it's like the one thing that was there to implicate her still. Because if you remember, they just said like that you know, they did all this stuff for Maya, right? Like if the body was there, she'd be implicated. If the blood was there, she'd be implicated. But because this was still there, she was also could be implicated. The body of Elise Denham was carried all the way to Hazakura's temple's courtyard. And then at the garden, the real scene of the crime, the snow that we suspect was covered in blood was scooped up and removed. It's reasonable to believe that all this was done in an attempt to hide the true crime scene. However, there's still one matter that seems somewhat odd. Oh, and what would that be? You must have figured it out by now, Mr. Godot. It's the message written in blood on the lantern. It was written very clearly on the white stone lantern. Maya. Ah. If the killer was so motivated to protect Maya from suspicion, then why didn't they wipe the writing off the lantern? Ah, you're right! Right? Order, but Mr. Wright, isn't it a fact that the killer was trying to cover up the crime scene? Indeed, but it doesn't make much sense to move the body and remove the bloody snow, then not wipe off the most incriminating thing of all, the bloody writing. If that's the case, do you have any explanation for the killer's mysterious behavior? Why would this killer move the body and remove all that snow, but then leave the bloody writing on the lantern? Because he couldn't see it! I don't know what the killer's plan was, but it's a fact that the killer left the writing on the lantern. There must be a reason for it. Well then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your opinion. Why did the killer leave the message written on the blood on the lantern? The killer didn't notice it. Enter? Killer didn't notice it. There you go. Prosecutor Godot, earlier in this trial, you gave me some good advice. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Maybe you're not as dumb as I thought. The real killer wanted to disguise the fact that a crime had occurred here. There. If that's the case, they wouldn't have left the bloody writing on the stone lantern on purpose. Therefore, it must mean that they didn't notice it. But that doesn't make any sense. The torches were all lit and everything. There's no way any normal person would miss something as glaring as that. You're right. There's no way any normal person would. What? What are you trying to say, Mr. Wright? Are you about to be ableist? There's only one person involved in this incident who could have missed seeing the bloody writing altogether. And who would that be? Who is the person that could have failed to notice the bloody writing? Mr. Godot. Mr. Godot, this is what you said yesterday. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. You can't see everything, is that correct, Mr. Godot? This lantern was submitted as evidence today. I would like the court to think back to the moment it was first presented. This lantern? There's something written on it. Why, it's written in blood. Nonsense. This lantern is as clean as a whistle. Mr. Godot, just admit it. There are certain colors you can't see, correct? You can't see red on a white background, can you? That's right. We went through this once before, during the poisoning case at Tribulations. This is the apron the delightful Miss Bird was wearing at the time, and someone spilled coffee on.
There's something bothering me, Mr. Godot. Why have you not explained the bloodstain to the court?
Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be?
Don't play games, prosecutor. The blood-colored stain that's smeared all over the apron.
It's ridiculous. No one told me anything about the bloodstain.
You can see the coffee on the white apron. But you couldn't see the ketchup because it was red.
Heh. Strange. If black and white photos, letters would have appeared black to me. I wonder, why am I the only one who can't see them?
So then, Mr. Godot, are you admitting it? Are you admitting that you can't see the red writing on the lantern?
Oh my god! Hey, Gramps. Didn't you know? That's the reason why I don't drink red tea.
I wasn't sure about it until now, but I just can't believe it. Prosecutor Godot is the murderer, but there's no going back now. I finally figured out the truth.
Red tea is pretty good. Mr. Godot, the defense at this time formally accuses you. You are the murderer of Ms. Elise Denham, also known as Misty Faye.
It's hard to believe this may be true. However, once again, Mr. Wright has brought up a disquieting fact about you. I'm getting a fucking headache from wearing these headphones.
God, my back hurts. Huh. Just make sure you don't fill out the indictment in red ink, Gramps. Come on, how's a little graffiti make me into a killer? Besides, it's not like it's my name that's written there.
I'm certain that the killer wasn't able to see the color red.
This is Rich Dugonge, right?
The answer is right there at the crime scene.
In the snow?
The snow? How so?
Well, for example, why did the killer remove all that snow?
Because he couldn't tell where it was! Oh, hey, interesting.
If you wanted to hide the bloody snow, why not oh shit, that's not his voice, whoops. If you wanted to hide the bloody snow, why not take out just that area?
Yes, why didn't he take just that area? Ah, could it be?
Yep, killer couldn't see the red blood that had seeped into the snow, and so he had to remove all of the snow.
He couldn't be sure of where the blood had landed, so he removed the whole area.
Isn't it more likely that the killer couldn't see the blood because it was dark? No.
Not a chance. Torches were all lit. He would have been able to see just fine. It seems that once again this trial has taken an unexpected turn, to say the least. Can you explain this, Mr. Godot?
This is the most confusing trial I've ever seen in my entire life.
Wait just a minute. Maya, what is it, witness? I just want to say that I know this is like the end of like the trilogy, but they went fucking insane on this case. They were like, all right, we're ending it with a bang. I don't know what, like, if their plan was to like do more after this either, or if like it just coincidentally they were just like, yeah, let's keep going.
Mr. Godot isn't the killer. After all, he didn't even come to the inner temple until 2 days after the murder took place. He didn't show up until after that old bridge got fixed up. Maya, you can't testify something like that.
Why? What do you mean? I mean, look it like it, but
after the murder happened, you didn't even exist.
She didn't. I'm afraid I don't follow.
Are you senile, old man? We just established this a little while ago. After the murder, this witness was unconscious for a long time. Because she was channeling Dahlia Hawthorne.
Oh, that's right.
Please, Your Honor, let me add to my testimony. Nick, please listen to me. Maya, she planned to cover for Godot no matter the cost? If that's the case, then I've got no choice. Your Honor, let's hear her testimony. If it means we're going to hear the whole truth, I say we should not silence her. Heh. Nicely done, Trite.
Very well, let's hear the witness's testimony.
How much more testimony must I go through?
Please. There's so much talking. Oh, please tell us what happened in the inner temple of the murder. Yes, sir, they will come and get yelling at my lyrics. Let me have the word.
Little Pearly was there in the inner temple too. Oh my god. I'm like I'm running a marathon here. Talking. Marathon of talking. My back just hurts, so I'm like dying. Pearly was also stuck on the inner temple side that night. The next morning, she looked around but couldn't find anyone. The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. That's when Mr. Godot arrived at the inner temple for the first time. He found Pearly first, and cheered her right up.
Who is this Pearly?
That's my little cousin, Pearl Faye.
So when did you hear about this?
Oh, just a while ago when I was in the medical office.
I'm terribly sorry, but what you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony.
What? Come on. Pearly would never tell a lie. She's a way more honest person than I'll ever be. Real smart, Maya. You always know the best things to say when you're under oath. Heh. Prosecution has no objection. We believe the witness.
Mr. Godot.
Let's just move on to the cross-examination. Defense has no objections.
This is highly unusual, but, well, Mr. Wright.
Let's get this cross-examination started. Bam, bow, 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 bow. So where do you think Pearl slept that night? In a spare prep room next to the training hall, I guess. There's a rule that you can't enter the training hall during an Acolyte's training.
But even so, why did she go to the inner temple in the first place?
It seems that Pearls became very worried about Maya. She knew that the spiritual training I was about to undergo was very intense. Pearls was supposed to channel Dahlia Hawthorne, but she couldn't do it. That's why she headed to the inner temple. However, Dahlia Hawthorne was already there, possessing the body of Elise Denham. She searched the entire inner temple side, end to end. Well, you see, Pearls gets pretty scared when she's alone, and there weren't that many places to look. She says that she even went back and forth several times. The inner temple side has two structures, the training hall and the spare prep room. And there's also a storage shack, I think. That's about it. There was a storage shack, too. Pearls was looking for other people, right? Would she have really examined a storage shack all that carefully? Well, if it was me, that'd be the first place I would investigate.
So that means it's possible someone may have been hiding in the storage shack.
Pearls didn't hear the sound of them working on the bridge. What do you mean? I was just wondering why she would stay in the prep room. If it was me, I'd at least go out and wait at the foot of the bridge. Oh, well, Pearl said she was sleeping at the time. She says she was so scared during the night that she couldn't sleep well and woke up a bunch of times.
Poor little girl, all alone like that.
Well, we know that she had at least one friend in the Sacred Cavern. Dahlia Hawthorne, who was busy battling with the trick lock. She couldn't let anyone see her, so she wouldn't have shown herself to Pearls. What happened after the bridge was finally fixed?
That's what Mr.
So it was your first time at the inner temple side, Mr. Godot? That's funny. Am I imagining things, or did the defense ask me a question?
Mr. Wright, please save your questions for the witness.
What you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony. Those are your words, Your Honor.
Touché, Mr. Wright. Oh, well, what do you have to say, Mr. Godot?
Hot nights and even hotter coffee. That's what I always say. If it hadn't been for this case, I would have never visited there. Freezing cold temple in the mountains. I think I'll pass.
So you'd never visited Hazakura Temple or the inner temple, huh?
Huh. You want to say something, Trite?
In any case, I have to find a crack in Godot's armor. I cross-examine Maya, that is. Very well, please go on with the testimony. After fixing the bridge, the policeman came over to the inner temple side, right?
Yes, then Mr. Godot.
He cheered her up.
That's what Pearly said. She said he was a very nice older gentleman. Thank you for looking after my cousin, Mr. Godot.
And here I was thinking you were nothing more than a coffee addict.
Ha! Cut it out. You make me blush. This guy's really beginning to get on my nerves. Oh, just beginning? Beginning, Phoenix? Because he's been on my nerves for, like, ever now, so... The truth is, there aren't that many places to look on the inner temple side. The policemen were all busy going over the garden with fine-tooth combs. So I decided to carry out an investigation in my own way. Godot style.
I'm the same way. I like to hand out verdicts my own way. Judge style. I love to dance my own way. Opa Gangnam style.
I'm not funny. Maybe I should ask some questions Phoenix style. I'm confused though, because how did he get there first? You know?
Hey, what's happening here with your investigation, huh?
So you conducted an investigation of your own. Did you find anything? Looks like my investigation went about as well as yours, Trite. After all, I did miss the bloody writing on the lantern.
Well, I didn't miss it, so speak for yourself, Goggles.
The only thing I discovered was the beauty in the training hall.
Beauty?
Misty Faye, naturally.
Kleiner studying... Oh! How could he have seen that here right afterwards? Because the gravy! Wait a minute.
Kleiner studying Japanese garb surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western taste.
Western taste? Could he find a stranger way to describe gravy? Oh, never mind. I take it back. Never mind. So from the prep, there you headed for the prep room. Wait a sec. What did Godot just say now? Say just now? I think I found his proverbial weak spot. There's only one thing of any importance here. Where was Godot when the murder was taking place? He must have already been at the inner temple when it happened. Otherwise, he couldn't have killed Elise Denham. Because he described it, right? I think I'm right. I think I'm right. I think I'm right. I think I'm right. If I'm not right, we'll just go through it again. It's fine. Mr. Godot, first time you crossed Dusky Bridge and went to the inner temple was long before the murder took place. Why do you say that? Because he just made one fatal slip-up. Hanging scroll in the training hall. The hanging scroll? But, Mr. Godot is right. The scroll shows a picture of my mother. Yeah, it does. Maya, I know you know it is, but there's something you don't know. By the time the bridge had been repaired 2 days after the murder, the hanging scroll in the training hall looked like this. What's that wonderfully delicious smell? The morning after the crime, someone covered it with gravy. Gravy? But why gravy, Nick? Because, a 4-year-old can't read. That's why. This gravy was much more than a condiment to...
More than a condiment to the culprit. Well, Mr. Godot, if you really hadn't seen the hanging scroll until after the murder, you wouldn't have any way of knowing that it was Misty Faye. Well, he might know the symbol. Wait a minute, Nick. Yes? Taking a look at the hanging scroll. Look at the top. There's a crest there. Ah, that is the mark of the master, correct? Exactly. So if you know the meaning of the mark,
Then you would guess that there was a picture of Misty Faye on there.
true, but Mr. Godot described what was underneath like this. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes. Oh. Yes, it's possible that he knew what the crest meant. However, he couldn't have known that she was wearing Japanese clothing. Mr. Godot, on the day of the murder, you were hiding at the Inner Temple long before the crime took place. Can I ask you just one little thing, Trite? What is it? This whole theory of yours. It all rests on a certain assumption. That I knew beforehand that a crime was going to be committed. That's right. Otherwise, there's no reason for him to sneak onto the crime scene. Of course, Mr. Godot knew about the plan. Huh?
What did you say? Is it really possible that another person knew of that plan?
Okay, did I say earlier that someone definitely opened like this? Here's my thoughts, okay? Here's my thoughts. It had been opened once before, right? And again, like, I had thought that it was like, I thought that Iris maybe had opened it or something like that. But like, again, why? Why would Godot have opened it? And when and where? Exactly. Like, I am consistently confused by all, like all the pieces are lining up in my brain, right? Like, I'm like, okay, yeah, well, this has to be because of this, because there's nothing else it could be. But like, why? I just never know the reason why. I feel like in this game, it's like really obvious what pieces you're supposed to use, but it's never obvious why. Maybe that's why they make it so obvious as to what it's supposed to be, because goddamn, could I not work around this logic here. This crime was actually planned over a year ago. Morgan Fay authored the plan for her daughter's future, and these instructions were hidden somewhere in Fay Manor for a year. Just my microphone, hold on. So snuck from my mouth. I'm slowly sinking into the depths of my seat. However, by the time Little Pearls found these instructions... Oops, I didn't click the game. They had already been unsealed.
Unsealed?
Yes, that killer had read these instructions long before Pearls ever found them. That's how he knew the crime was to take place at the Inner Temple. Yet you still insist this crafty killer is me. You bet I do. But you just said that the instructions were hidden.
That's right. Mr. Godot couldn't have possibly known where the instructions were hidden.
If he really wanted to know, he'd have one great chance to find out.
Yes, when was that?
During a visit. A visit? Morgan Fay told her daughter Pearl about where to find the instructions were hidden. During one of her visits to the detention center. That would be the only time for someone to have learned where they were hidden.
Eavesdropping on a visit to at the detention center?
Yes, it could be arranged if you were someone with easy access in and out of there. Like, for example, a prosecutor such as Mr. Godot.
Order, Mr. Godot. You ought to fire again.
This murder could not have been carried out without prior knowledge, and you're the only one that could have acquired this information before the murder. I don't know if that's true, but humans are afraid of the dark, and yet, at the same time, we're fascinated and bewitched by it. Maybe that's why humans drink the darkness that is coffee.
What?
Sorry for always asking, what the hell are you saying? Means there's a reason for everything. According to your theory, the killer in this case eavesdropped on a conversation during a jail visit, where he learned of a hidden plan for a crime. After discovering the plans, he hid in the inner temple and waited for the crime to occur. Then he ultimately took a person's life. He did all of that just to protect this witness?
Sure.
You're accusing me of this crime, I have to ask you. Why would I do this? This girl is nothing but a stranger to me. I've got no reason to go through that kind of trouble to protect her. I am what you see. I'm certainly not the type to rescue the damsel in distress.
The killer's behavior is certainly extreme, for lack of a better word. Even considering the killer wanted to protect this witness's life, his behavior is still a little too unnatural. No. You had a good reason for, didn't you, Mr. Godot? An unshakable reason that forced you to protect this witness at all costs. And that reason is because you're a shitty person. Sorry.
I knew it. You figured it out, haven't you, Nick?
Yeah. I figured it out like 80 years ago, actually. One of like the 2 things I remembered from this stupid game.
Maya.
I guess you were doing your best to cover for Godot. For the same reason, huh?
Okay, Trite. I'm all ears. Let's hear it.
It's very simple. Maya Fey is a lot more than just a stranger to you. What's this? There's one person who lies at the very center of this whole story. One person that ties you and Maya Fey together inextricably. And that is Miss Mia, baby. Because there's a very good reason why Maya Fey's life is so precious to you. After all, she is Mia Fey's only sister.
Mia Fey.
You once worked alongside her. That was when you were a defense attorney. Wait a second here. Mr. Godot is a defense attorney? With your honor's piercing intellect, you must have figured it out by now. The real name of this man who calls himself Godot. His real name is Diego Armando. Isn't that right?
The last time someone called me that name was over 6 years ago.
Diego Armando? That name rings a bell. Should your honor, all of this is related to a single case. A case in which a convict named Terry Falls killed himself. Mia Fey's first time in court, the tragic outcome left a deep wound in her heart. She knew that behind it all was a heartless, scheming demoness in disguise. But in the end, Mia couldn't tear off that disguise. However, there was one man who reached out to help her. Diego Armando, a senior defense attorney at the office where Mia worked. It's my fault. It's all my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself.
Mia, you can't cry yet. The ultimate lawyer cries when it's all over. I was moved by her. The way she put all her faith in her clients. Pure sweetheart of hers. That's why I can never forgive Dahlia Hawthorne. Me and I further investigated that fake kidnapping incident. And one fateful day, Dahlia wanted to meet with me. It had been 6 months since the trial. We met in the courthouse cafeteria.
Ah, I just remember, it's 6 years ago. Right at this courthouse, you were poisoned.
Even I didn't see it coming. Dahlia Hawthorne slipped some poison into my coffee.
Some newspapers at the time called it a murder, but very little information about the case was released to the press.
But you weren't dead at all. No official reports ever actually called it a murder. I was just in a deep, deep coma.
I see.
My body shut down and my life became nothing but a long, deep sleep. That woman's poison did a number on my central nervous system. I lost my sight, and all my hair turned white due to the damage. I'm sorry for laughing. It's just my hair turned white due to the damage it caused. I'm an anime protagonist now. That's terrible. Apparently it was a miracle that I ever regained consciousness. 5 years had passed since I drank that poison brew. Then one morning, my eyes flew open from the smell of a doctor's cup of coffee.
5 years? You were asleep for 5 years!
And the worst possible news was waiting for me. Mia Fey was dead. From the very moment I opened my eyes, I had already lost everything I thought I had. The woman I loved had been murdered, and the woman I loathed had been sentenced to death.
The woman you loathe?
The woman who spiked my scalding hot coffee, Dahlia Hawthorne. Ha! Good old Mia. She didn't let me down. She got her revenge before she checked out. Oh yeah, she did. In the end, there wasn't anyone waiting for me when I woke up.
That's so sad.
For someone like me, someone who had slept away their best days, there were only 2 reasons left to live. It was for those 2 reasons that I decided to become a prosecutor.
If I may ask, what were your 2 reasons to live?
First was Yuch, right?
Me? Alexa, play Despacito.
If I hadn't drank that stupid poison, Mia Fey never would have died, much less the way she did. You were the one who was there to protect her, but you let her die. It was all your fault.
It wasn't like that.
I want to see for myself what kind of man you really were.
So that's why you become a prosecutor?
My other reason for living. She goes by the name of Mia Fey.
Huh? You mean me?
You're the only way I could make up for the sin of not saving Mia. 1 year ago, when the Crane Village incident was resolved, it was obvious that Morgan Fey was planning something. Whatever her evil plan was, I was determined to stop it. My role as a prosecutor put me in the perfect position to do something about her.
That's how you overheard Pearl's visit with Morgan at the detention center.
I knew the time was drawing near. Since I knew the plan, I thought I could foil it. My goal was to outwit the plan. Thought if I could do that, I could keep that girl from being caught up in it.
That makes sense. If Pearls had known that the actual purpose of the plan was to kill Maya, she never would have helped out. Well, then why not just tell her that?
Sure. Finally, the day of the plan was drawn near. Contact both of my accomplices.
Accomplices?
Iris of Hazakura Temple and Misty Fey. I especially needed the help of Iris. She was to take the fall on my backup plan, in case we couldn't control Pearl Fey.
But, how did you contact my mother? She had been missing for almost 20 years.
Officially, yes.
What? What do you mean, officially?
You've heard about it, haven't you? About the strong ties between the main family and the government?
Now that you mention it, Aki did say something to that effect. She said that the Master of Crine had great authority.
Even without her official position, Misty Fey still wielded great influence. The police have been keeping an eye on her movements at all this time.
Great, so Mia and Maya could have seen their mother this entire goddamn time. And now Maya's last words were about, just dinner? Cool. Great. Love that.
Again, because of my position as a prosecutor.
So my mother was cooperating with you?
Don't ever forget. No matter how far away from you she was, she never stopped thinking about you.
She was always...
That's why I knew she would do anything to protect you. If you want to know how strong her resolve was to protect you look at her staff.
Her staff? The one with the sword in it?
The day the plan was to be carried out arrived soon enough. We met for the first time at Hazakura Temple. That's when your mother showed me her special staff. I realized it then, just how far she was willing to go. She was ready to use that sword to protect you from Morgan Fay if necessary. Yes, even if it meant paying the ultimate price. Wait, so if Iris was in on it, that means she wouldn't channel her sister like Morgan wanted to. And just as importantly, they could have just told Pearl what was happening, so Pearl wouldn't be involved either. So literally all of this could have avoided, and no one would have died, is what you're telling me, basically? Great. Mother. That night, the night of the crime, there was just one way to stop Morgan's evil plan. You mean Pearl's, don't you? We had to make sure she didn't channel Dahlia Hawthorne. Exactly, they literally could have just told Pearl not to do the thing. Like, literally. Because she couldn't communicate with the outside world any other way than the letter she had already prepared in the house. So who else was she gonna contact about this? No one else would have been able to channel Dahlia, because no one else knew about Dahlia besides Morgan, who's been blacklisted. And then Dahlia, and then Iris, and Iris was already on their plan. So, like, what the fuck was this all about exactly? The last 12 hours of my life have been for what? Huh? Last 12 hours? The last 7 hours plus the 6 hours prior to this. Well, Pearl, what are you going to do tonight?
Well,
If you like, you can come to my room. Perhaps we can read some books together. I thought we could prevent her from playing her part in Morgan's plan, but she never showed up. She was worried and followed me to the inner temple. That was the thing we were most afraid of. And that's why Misty Faye had to do the channeling herself. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne into her own body.
What? What do you mean? She channeled the spirit first, then Pearls wouldn't be able to do it herself.
As Master of Crime Misty, Faye's power was supreme. That's how it went down. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne so that Pearl Faye wouldn't be able to. Okay.
What? Is this true? I don't know.
My role in the plan was to make sure no one was going to hurt Maya Faye. That's why I hid myself in the inner temple. Just in case you needed to be safe from Dahlia Hawthorne.
No. Why did you just tell Pearl? Why didn't you just keep the letter yourself? Yeah. Yeah, why? If you got the letter first, why didn't you just take it?
Anyway,
I mean, listen, he did just wake up from a coma, you know what I mean? Like, his brain, he did say he has nervous issues. Central nervous problems. I mean, I guess his brain isn't, it's not what it used to be.
that's all I'm gonna admit, Trite.
Huh?
There's no doubt about it. You're a great defense attorney. But you're gonna have to do the rest of it yourself.
Why? The background leading up to this incident has been laid bare. There's just one question remaining, Mr. Wright. Who killed the victim? There are only two possible suspects right now. Maya Faye. And I'm sad to say you, Mr. Godot.
Oh my god, how much more do I have to talk? Because it's 1:30 a.m. I had to be up in like 5 hours. I didn't think it would take this long. Well, try it. If you're the real deal, let's finish this thing once and for all. It shows beyond a shadow of a doubt that you can finish this on your own. We're almost done. What am I gonna do? Leave like the last 40 minutes to a stream? No, I had to finish it.
No, Nick, please don't.
Maya, it's either you or you go to, I
I heard they'll thank my sister in the medical office. That's why I have to protect Mr. Godot. Can't do it. Can't testify against him. After all, he's the man who put his life on the line to protect Mia. And me too.
Maya, I know that.
Nick,
Even so, doesn't absolve him of his crime. Please, Maya, testify.
Miss Faye, your testimony, please. I have to keep going.
This is the final testimony. Don't bother trying to hide anything, because I'll know. I want to hear the truth from your own lips. I understand. I'm sure you're right. I'm ready now, Nick.
All right, young lady, hurry, tell us the moment before you lost consciousness. What exactly happened at the time of the murder?
Just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights, 3 of them. Thought I'd ask for help, but just then I was splattered with blood. She wasn't dead though, and she struck back at the enemy behind her. Suddenly, the red lights went out and the whole area was dark. Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream. Right after that, Dahlia collapsed and I lost consciousness. I think that she killed herself. I still think that.
These red lights, I thought you said you don't remember seeing them.
I'm sorry. Thought I saw them, but then they disappeared all of a sudden. Ha. Things break, right? Even the best of theories. Who was it that stabbed Misty Faye? It was Misty Faye! I think it's Misty Faye because she saw that, like, if she didn't, because I think this guy got fucking knocked out. I don't know. Maya's telling the truth this time, I know it. The rest is up to me.
Well then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your final cross-examination of the witness, and please fucking make it swifty. Begging you.
Just pour it out. Lights and shining in the dark? I don't think you could make a mistake about that. Yeah, you're right. I think I saw them, but I'll say for certain. I can't tell you for sure they were from Mr. Godot's mask either. I don't get the feeling she's covering for him anymore, but... Let's press harder. Just after that, you turned towards the lights and called for help. Isn't that because you thought the lights were coming from Mr. Godot's mask? Yeah, I guess so. Maybe that's what I was thinking at the time, but I can't remember after all. Ow, ow. There was a person I couldn't identify in front of me. Maya's life was in terrible danger at the time. There's no way she can remember the details of the scene perfectly.
Alright then, let's go on with the testimony. What did you do when you saw the red lights?
That blood, was it Dahlia Hawthorne's blood? I think so, probably. Just at that moment, I heard a soft scream that seemed to be close by. It was a woman's voice. Oh wait, whoops, I talked in my voice for that.
So that was when the killer stabbed the victim from behind with the murder weapon. Is that right?
Without a doubt, Maya was in the middle of a really dangerous situation. Anyway, the victim was stabbed by the murder weapon. What happened after that? Struck back? How do you know that? Well, you're right. I didn't see it exactly, but I could tell by the sounds of their breathing and movement, and also the smell of blood.
You witnessed more horror than any young lady should ever have to in one life. You lost your sister and your aunt, both of whose murders you were also placed on trial for. Well, not your aunts, but your aunt did try to frame you for murder. That was crazy. What did you do at that point?
I couldn't move.
Oh, and you've been kidnapped? What else?
I could barely make it out. Their shadows moving in the dark, but I had no idea what to do. You still see the red lights you mentioned earlier? Yes, I think so, but... They went out? Yeah, suddenly I couldn't see them at all.
What could it mean?
The red lights were coming from Godot's mask, and they went out right in the middle of a fight. Maybe the mask was damaged? Or maybe it was knocked off. Or maybe the batteries ran out, right, Shrite?
Or maybe those little red pinhead looking lights just stopped working.
What could have really happened then?
Just that moment, there was a horrible scream.
What do you mean, just at that moment? Do you mean the moment when the red lights went out?
Yes, that's right.
The scream that you heard then, was it Dahlia Hawthorne? I don't think so. Pretty sure it was a man's voice.
What? What? So then that scream came from the killer?
That's gotta be it.
I think Dahlia Hawthorne must have taken the blade and attacked the killer with it. And the killer let out a scream of pain, huh?
After that, the killer stole the blade back and delivered the final blow, I guess.
Well, Mr. Wright, seems to make sense to me. Does it?
It's like a reasonable deduction, but I still kind of wonder.
Sorry to say this. I don't know. Because, like, he's not injured, right?
That interpretation would create an enormous contradiction.
That makes sense. After all, my deductions are almost certainly never correct.
Remember the testimony she gave before? She just gave? Before this killer let out a scream, Mai said she had already been splattered by the victim's blood. In other words, the blade and the staff had already been plunged into the victim.
Ah, is that right?
She couldn't have struck back with the sword that was already stuck in her body. The weapon that caused the killer to let out a scream must have been something other than the staff. Where's the contradiction?
What?
You're so sure about that, then don't keep us waiting any longer, Trite. There's only one thing I could think of that could have been used as the weapon here. Well, it's the dagger. But, like, Dahlia Hawthorne had already been stabbed in the back by the staff. What could she have used to strike back at the killer? The dagger. Duh. But, like, what's happening again? Actually, the dagger that the killer brought to the scene of the crime.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
This dagger was found at the crime scene stuck into a pine tree. Yes, the detective found that this morning and brought it to me. Dahlia Hawthorne struck back at the killer with this, and she managed to wound him as well. Just because he let out a scream doesn't mean that he was wounded. For all we know, the blood on the dagger could have been from the victim.
No, get it tested. Have you found that the blood's already been tested? Since we learned it wasn't the victim's blood, it must be the killer's blood.
The killer must have a wound somewhere in his body.
So you're saying the blood on this dagger belongs to the killer?
Exactly. A DNA analysis of the blood would prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. And yes, Mr. Godot, it would prove that it's your blood. Nice theory, Trite.
Order at the court!
Is this the end? Have I done it? Even he won't be able to change the results of a scientific test. Let me ask you something, Trite. Let's just say that it turned out I was the killer. Do you really think I would be stupid enough to leave evidence like that? What? Just think for a second. This dagger was found in the morning by a detective and brought to me. There was already blood on it, correct? But even so, I was the one who brought this dagger here to the courtroom.
Yes, what does that prove?
Well, if I really were the killer, I could have washed the blade off and then planted another person's blood on it. But it can't be. Well, we'll know for sure if we test it, so... Like, in case there's one thing I can guarantee, right? That blood, it doesn't belong to me. Not a chance. What? Well, let's get it tested then, bitch.
In any event, it seems that to be established that the killer was wounded. Alright, the witness, continue your testimony.
Hold it. Wait a minute.
What's the problem?
I know I probably shouldn't say this, but there's a big contradiction in Nick's explanation.
Maya?
This dagger, you said that it wounded the killer?
That's right.
But... If Mr. Godot had really been cut with the dagger, his clothes should be bloody or have rip in them, right? You know, because no one else... He only owns one pair of clothes.
Maya?
Maybe he just changed his clothes? That solved the contradiction pretty easily.
What are you talking about? It's not that simple at all.
Remember back to the day of the murder, everyone that was in Temple side got trapped there.
Ah, that's right. Once the bridge was fixed and the police headed for the inner temple.
Mr. Godot was already there, waiting for them. He never had a chance to change his clothes.
Huh. Order in the court, but this witness says it's true.
Well, maybe he brought a change of clothes with him.
But no one could have predicted the lightning strike that shut down the bridge. Why would anyone have brought a change of clothes?
Did just take smart pills during the last recess? Well then, maybe the killer took off his clothes before he committed the murder! Yeah, Phoenix, that's what you think? That way he wouldn't get any blood on them? Well yeah, if he was gonna get blood on them, wouldn't he take extra clothes anyway? It's impossible, Trite. You know how cold it gets up there late at night. Yeah, well, if he knew he was gonna get blood on him, possibly, I guess it would make sense to bring extra clothes. But either way, I don't think that's what happened. I think his eyes got slashed. I think his mask got knocked off when his like face got slashed. That's what I think. A few minutes with no clothes on, you'd be frozen solid. Ah. Ha. So that's all you've got? I knew you weren't tough enough to finish this. Right now, me if Faye were here. Me if Faye were here. She would have closed the book on this case already. Me if Faye were here? So come on, Trite. Can you do it or not? I love the taste of blood. Iron.
How about it, Mr. Wright? You've accused Mr. Godot of being the killer. But can you prove it? Have you gotten one piece of evidence?
The question isn't whether I can prove it or not. The fact is I have to prove it. That's the only choice I have. It's taught that it's one of the rules of being a lawyer. Sure. I can prove it. I'm going to bring your magnificent vengeance to fruition just as you want it. Ha! That's good. Right to the very bitter end, right? Since there's just one piece of evidence that you can prove your point, why don't we go for the unlimited penalty? Oh, thank God! You're trying to pressure me, Mr. Godot? Because it doesn't matter to me. I've got the one piece of evidence I need. You give me a break. You've got nothing, right? So what do I do at a time like this? It's simple. I've got to think outside the box and approach this from a different angle. Do I?
Alright then, Mr. Wright, let's see what you've got.
So one thing I've demonstrated in the previous cross-examination, the killer was wounded. That was proven by the blood in the dagger.
But we decided it was impossible for him to have hidden such a wound. If he'd been cut by a dagger, there should have been a blood stain on his clothing.
Is this really outside the box? I feel like it's pretty obvious. Just one place. One place the killer could have hidden his wound.
What did you say?
Hidden? This is it. My last stand. I need to think about this from a different angle. I don't need to think about why there were no blood stains on his clothing. I need to show how he hid the wound. The end of the line, the final stop, right? Let's hear what you've got. Where's this location where you say the killer hid his wound? So, if I click on his profile, you think it will let me, like, point to his face? Prage? Ha! I don't know what you're talking about. And frankly, I don't need to know. What I do know is that you'll never be half the lawyer she was. Isn't that right, Trite? What was that just now? Mia? It can't be. You're living on through him? Yeah, idiot! Fuck off! You know, as they speak, you're still hiding the wound. Stupid idiot. Fuck you. It's beneath your mask. During the fight, the red lights given off by the killer suddenly disappeared. Seconds later, the killer let out a scream. That's right, your mask went flying off your face. Mr. Godot, would you mind removing your mask? If you have a dagger wound under there somewhere. Then I'd say this whole case is solved. Oh my god. He fucking died. We get a moment of silence for him. Oh, he's good. Never mind. Just now, I saw her spirit in you. Huh? I never liked you. 6 years ago, you helped the woman who put me to sleep by hiding her bottle of poison. And then, while I was sleeping, you let Mia die. I literally will kill this guy. But you didn't care. You just kept living your pathetic, happy-go-lucky life. You even had the nerve to follow in her footsteps as a lawyer. I can never forgive you. That's what I thought. Mr. Godot, are you realizing how fucking stupid you are? But I was wrong about you. I knew from the very beginning. The truth is, the only person I could never find it in my heart to forgive was myself. I need a therapist. It was me.
Yourself?
I was the one that failed to protect Mia. Me and no one else. Yeah. Well, no. It would be her. Because she's strong and capable as a person. So. And you were in a coma. So. I wouldn't say that either. But I will put the blame on you because I do hate you. So yeah, it's your fault. Try to avert my eyes from the truth. To escape from the harshness of reality. I just couldn't face Mia's death head on, so I ran. I hid behind a mask, I threw away my true name. I couldn't even deal with being a defense attorney anymore, so I quit. But you saved Maya. Yeah, that was my plan. Up until just now, anyway.
What do you mean?
Are you listening, Maya? If I had really wanted to save you, then there's one person that I should have gone and talked to right away.
Who would that be? You're talking about Nick?
But I didn't do it. I tried to get the help of Iris and your mother. I closed my eyes to the most important man involved. Do you know why? The real reason?
No, why? I also don't care.
I suppose I wasn't really interested in saving you at all. Huh? I think I was just trying to salvage what's left of my own broken soul. I was trying to make up for the fact that I couldn't save Mia, nothing more. That's why I let you walk right into the situation that I knew was dangerous.
Yeah, no shit, idiot.
Forgive me.
You're wrong. You put your life on the line to save Maya.
Yeah, but I could have just told Pearls or thrown away the letter. Like, you know, there's a lot of things I could have done. Glad the writers explained that. Was it really for Maya's sake? Even I'm not really sure.
What do you mean by that?
That night in the darkness of the garden when I saw her silhouette. part of me must have known the truth. The truth that it wasn't really Dahlia Hawthorne standing there in front of me. It could have been Misty Faye, or even that little girl, but I still picked up the blade. It was like I was dreaming. Yeah. I'm not exactly sure what was going on in my mind at that point. Was I really motivated by the pure desire to protect Maya Faye? Or was it something else? Was it my hatred for a woman who had stolen everything from me 6 years earlier? Could it have been simply a desire for revenge? And now, I don't know anything anymore. I did learn something today, however. I finally realized that I was the arrogant one. Yeah, no shit. I was just chasing an illusion, a fantasy. This stupid fantasy of defeating you in the courtroom. It was stupid. Yeah. You the one who made me realize my folly. You never ran away from Mia's death. Instead, you picked up where she left off as a true defender of the people. In that one moment, I understood everything. Mr. Godot. I think you already know this, but if you don't, my name is Diego Armando. And Mr. Armando, I believe in you. I know you were trying to save me. Thanks. Your wound, it's bleeding. Heh. Did you forget already? In my world, the color red doesn't exist. These must be my tears. Tears? Ever since I woke up from my coma, I think I've been waiting for this very moment. Mr. Armando! You do well to remember this, Maya. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. It was stupid. You're the stupid one.
This time, it really is all over, isn't it? Offended?
Yes, Your Honor.
Although you were directly involved in the murder, tampering with the body in the crime scene is a serious offense in itself.
I understand, Your Honor. Mr. Armando explained that to me very carefully. I knew the risk and I willingly cooperated anyway.
Very well. Before I hand down my verdict, is there anything you'd like to say?
Well, there is one thing. I'd like to say something to Mr. Wright. I want to apologize to you.
Apologize to me for what? I'm back. How's the case? It just got more and more stupid, Squirrel. You just would not believe it. Were you here when we decided that Godot decided to kill her? Is that, I forget where you left off. Well, Godot did in fact kill her. And also he's Mia's ex-coworker, although I think they might have dated. Unclear.
The case 5 years ago, of course.
I just remembered. Weren't you poisoned by your own lover?
Not exactly, but yeah, something like that. Even now, 5 years later, I can hardly believe it. She was going to do it. She was planning to kill me. It's not all that surprising. Two of you hardly knew each other.
Huh? What do you mean?
You and my sister, you only met twice.
Huh?
We only met twice? First time you met was on that fateful day. The day she poisoned Mr. Armando in the cafeteria of this very courthouse. Next time you met was 8 months later. You met her on the day that she stole your cold medicine. And Doug Swallow was killed.
No way. It can't be true. I mean, during our whole relationship, we were...
For those 8 months, the woman that you thought was Dahlia Hawthorne wasn't actually my sister.
Huh? It wasn't Dahlia.
I hope one day you can forgive me. Feeny.
Yeah, there was 2 things I knew about this entire game. Is that Dahlia, that Miss Iris was dating Phoenix. She was pretending to be Dahlia the entire time they were dating. And then also that Godot is Diego Armando. Those were like the 2 things I remembered. Because it's all that really matters in fanfics. You mean?
That's right. I lied to you for 8 months.
But why? Why would you do such a thing?
Ever since she gave you the bottle that day, my sister was trying to get it back as soon as she possibly could. Because of the police investigation and their surveillance, she couldn't move about freely.
So that's why you...
My sister, from the beginning, she was prepared for the worst.
Prepared for the worst?
She thought that you might somehow discover the truth. That's why she was always ready to deal with you at a moment's notice.
You mean she was ready to kill me, don't you?
She always had so much to answer for. Didn't want more sins on her soul. I begged her not to do it, and she agreed to give me a chance.
And that's why you came to me? You came to get the bottle pendant back from me in her place?
But I couldn't get you to give it back. I felt that something even as simple as that. 8 months passed and I still couldn't get it back from you. Finally, my sister couldn't wait any longer. She didn't consult me about her plans for you that day. It was the first time that had ever happened.
That was a bit strange, wasn't it? Up until that day, you two were partners in crime, and she would confer with you.
I think she must have noticed.
Notice what?
My feelings for you. If I had found out that she was planning to kill you, I would have done whatever was necessary to stop her, even if it meant her life. Or mine.
Iris?
After spending those 8 months by your side, my feelings towards you, they changed.
I have something to say to you too.
Yes?
You really are the person I always thought you were. Even after Dahlia Hawthorne was found guilty, I still believed in you.
Thank you.
So are we gonna announce the verdict, or like... what's going on?
How many cups of darkness have I drank over the years? Even I don't know. I'll tell you this, though. Right now, this one here is the greatest cup I think I've ever had. Don't you think so? Phoenix, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. The purpose of this trial was to rule on the murder of the victim, Elise Donham. At some point, I expect you will be tried for your role as accomplice in this case.
I understand, Your Honor.
Very well, on the charge of murder, I hereby find the defendant not guilty. Woo! Court is now adjourned. Good luck in prison, babe. I mean, he's already dead in Edgeworth, so like, I mean, like, it's already too late, you know? So I guess it's all over. The way everything ended was justice really served. The man who risked his life to save Maya is being sent to prison by my own hand. Of course justice was served. Just like in the next game, justice will be served even more. By Apollo Justice. In the next game, the next series. Justice. Mamiya!
I'm proud of you, Phoenix.
I mean, Phoenix has 2 hands. Yeah, one of those hands is not gonna be in jail, so... it's rough.
Proud of you, Phoenix.
Your defense was truly brilliant. But I couldn't save Mr. Armando. The man who cared so deeply for you.
You're wrong, Phoenix. You did save Diego. You saved him in the only way possible. You mean with that verdict? No, I mean emotionally. You idiot. Phoenix, I want you to remember one thing. You were as good out there today as any defense attorney could ever hope to be. There's nothing more you can learn from me. Mia? You've accomplished something I wasn't able to. I owe you a great deal. Thank you. Mia? I'm sure we'll meet again someday, Phoenix. Found lots of cases and seen a lot of things. And along this journey, I found myself asking just one question. What does it really mean to defend someone? I suppose today's case produced one possible answer. Nick. Maya? I guess it's just like my sis said. Yeah? What did she say? That night when I channeled Mia to get her advice on what to do, this is what she wrote back in my notebook. Don't worry, Phoenix will save everyone in the end. But come on, cut it out with that gloomy face. Can't you see? Me, sis, I'm sure Iris too. We owe you for everything you've done for us, Nick. Maya. Ow, how can you be so bright and chipper after all that's happened? You were brutally attacked? You even saw your mother murdered? Your aunt tried to get you murdered and also blamed for murder? Your cousins wanted you dead? Franziska! Still a softie as always, Phoenix, right? Excellent work, right? Huh, Mr. Edgeworth? When did you get back? Oh, that's right. I guess no one filled her in on that. Edgeworth and Franziska have actually been helping me. Helping you? Oh my god. If these two hadn't been there on the first day of the trial, who knows what would have happened? Edgeworth with the flirty side eye. Yeah, I know, right? The fence wouldn't have gone anywhere. Wow. But where were you, Nick? I heard he fell into a river and caught a nasty cold which forced him to sleep all day. Yes, he laid in bed shivering with a fever from Iris's receiver with Iris's hood. Oh my god. Iris's hood pulled over his head. Oh, ouch. Talk about embarrassing, Nick. You definitely need more training. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. And you too, Franziska. Franziska. I don't suppose. Oh. There's room for me in this group hug, is there? No, absolutely not. Please go. Oh, Larry. What's with the, longer than usual face? Realized something when I was reborn. I realized that Larry was never of any use to anyone, not even once. Yeah, no, literally. That's not true, right, Nick? No, he really was not ever a single time. In fact, he was actually a very big hindrance. What, you're asking me? Well, Nick, is it true? I've got a place in this world, right? Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. I knew it. Everyone would be better off if I were gone for good. No, come on. Oh yeah, those portraits you painted, they were really good. Isn't that right, Edgeworth? What? Me? Why are you making that face, huh, Edgy? Oh, well, yes, indeed, I certainly can't say that they lack resemblance. Did you really mean it? What about you, Franzi? Did I draw you well, too? My beauty can't possibly be captured by mere crayon. Nevertheless, I recognize the effort that you put into it is worth something. All I'm saying, guys, is that Franziska is very cute, okay? She didn't want to disappoint Pearls, and Maya's whipping her, whipping her into shape. All I'm saying is that Franz Maya is like the OTP. That's all I'm gonna say. So then you'll do it like you promised? You're gonna model for my next picture book, Franzi Whippity Whip? Don't get carried away. Did she just because Maya pouted at her? You better fucking believe it, baby. The Franziska Maya ship is going. How about that? I guess painting portraits is the only thing I'm good at. Painting a pearl I did was pretty darn good too, if you ask me. Huh? When you mention it, I haven't seen her around. Pearls, where could she have gone? Normally she would have made a beeline for Maya. Oh, I'll go look for her, be right back. Hey Pearly, she was Mia up until like 2 seconds ago, so... Right. Seem to be uncharacteristically puzzled. I suspect you are wondering how Maya can be so cheerful despite all that has happened. Yeah. To be honest, I can't understand it either. Ziska. That's right. She lost her father fairly recently as well. That's valid. When my GF pouts at me, I melt. Yeah, exactly. Exactly! I think I understand how she feels. Maya is a much wiser person than she appears, and I think she realizes something. Why did I say that so damn fast? Now is exactly the time when she needs to be as strong as she can. What do you mean now is exactly the time? Maya wasn't the only one that was badly wounded by this incident. In fact, there was someone that was hurt far more deeply than she. I believe it's for that person that Maya is trying her best not to cry. Someone who was hurt more deeply than Maya? Edgeworth. I think I'm starting to understand too. Ow. And tell me, Phoenix Wright, who is Maya Fey being strong for? I don't fucking know. Stop asking me questions, please. I'm fucking sick of it. It's either me or Pearl. It's one of the two. Pearl? Okay, we're going with Pearl. Got it, we're going with Pearl. Pearl Fey. Poor kid, after all. The reason that she worked so hard to follow the instructions was because she loved and believed in her mother, Morgan, for some godforsaken reason, even though she's in jail, and also she knows she's evil because she was there for the trial. It's for the good of the Fey clan, I'm sure she believed in every last word. She thought she was doing it for Maya, that's why she was so happy. Shows how truly devoted she is to Maya. But it's such a cruel irony that her exuberance that led to this tragedy. Well, they wouldn't have if they had just told her. Maya Fey's mother was killed and Maya herself was put into the deepest peril imaginable. And that's exactly why Maya is putting on a brave face. She's doing it for Pearl's sake, until she can see her smile again. How much more is there? I've been streaming for 8 hours! So hey, so this is where you all were. Wow, looks like we've got quite the bunch here today. What was that for, sir? Sorry about that, Scruffy. My whip just seems to have a mind of its own. What's up, Detective Gumshoe? Oh, you know, this and that. Anyway, congrats on your win. Let's go out tonight, pal. Dinner's on me. My salary's just sorta kinda gone down by teeny weeny bit, but it's alright. I made reservations at a first-class French restaurant tonight. Oh god. Pretty good work, Scruffy. That whip was your reward. I'm Detective Gumshoe? Is it a first-class French restaurant? You don't mean... Très bien. Where else? I knew it. We're doomed. Come on, let's go, everyone. I can't keep Maggie waiting, pal. Hey, you, crybaby. You're invited too. No. Forget about me? Pearl and I will be at the loser shack eating potatoes. You know, Maya is taking an awfully long time to get back. She's still out looking for pearls. Oh, God. Oh, please. No, Maya, what's wrong? Nick, what do I do? What do I do? Pearly? I can't find her anywhere. Oh, I'll bet she just went back home. That's all. I thought so too, so I called the village. But no one has heard from her. This has never happened before. As I figured, she's been badly hurt by this incident. She feels responsible for the tragedy that has befallen you, Maya. But none of this was her fault. What should I do? I don't know. Stop the talking, maybe. Oh. Detective Gumshoe. Yeah, what is it, pal? Iris, this is my boyfriend Phoenix, and his boyfriend Miles, and his boyfriend Gumshoe. Yeah, what is it, pal? Could you guys go on ahead? Boy, though, what about you? Maya and I will... We'll join you guys once we find pearls. Nick. Don't worry about us, Detective Gumshoe. We may be a little late, but we'll definitely be there. We have a lot of celebrating to do tonight, and I wouldn't miss it for the world. Yeah, but you're the... Very well, friend. Thanks, right? We'll go on ahead. Don't keep us waiting, right? Alright, stop looking at me like that! Wait a minute. We won't. But where should we look? Where could Pearly have gone? Let's go, Maya. There's only one place I can think of that pearls might have gone to. Oh, I thought she would go to, like, the jail to, like, visit her mom or something, but yeah, I guess this is the one place I think of. Asakura Temple. For pearls, I bet this is a very important place. After all, it's where this whole incident started. What's this? You're all back again so soon? Sister Bikini. I thought we'd be eating mashed potatoes alone tonight. So she's here? Pearly is here? She's in the training hall. Why don't you hurry along and go see her? Okay. Pearly's not here. Ah, Maya, the hanging scroll. Someone cleaned it off. It's gotta be pearls.
Ah! Missing Maya!
But Pearly! Why'd you just leave like that?
Mystic Maya. Mystic Maya! I swore that I would never trouble the two of you ever again. Because it's all my fault that Mystic Maya's mother.
That's why you came here?
It's the least I could do to pray for your happiness.
You don't have to do that, Pearly. It wasn't your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. Of course, I'm sad that my mother is gone. But, how do I say this? I'm still happy.
You don't have to lie just to make me feel better.
No, really. It's true. One reason I'm still here at all is thanks to everyone who was there for me. My sis, my mother, Mr. Armando, Nick, and you. If even one of you weren't there, I'm sure I wouldn't still be alive right now. Although, Pearls, if you weren't there, none of this would have happened, actually. So now that I'm thinking about it, that's why I had to be strong. All the people that were there for me when I needed them. That's all I can really do.
Mystic Maya.
I'm impressed. You truly are the daughter of Mystic Misty. Sister Bikini, your mother, Mystic Misty, was a strong woman indeed. I want to tell you what she said to me that night. After dishonoring the good name of Karine, I don't have the right to face my daughter. But still, Maya's always in my thoughts. It's true, she'll always be with me until the day I die. Your spirit was with her. That's why your mother was so strong. Even at the end, I'm sure she had no regrets. She'll always be with me until the day I die, huh? There's a rule or something all masters are to follow, isn't there? To never take off the charm until the day you die.
That's the master's talisman.
I think that Misty kept by her heart and would never take off. It wasn't the container that was important, rather, it was its contents. That's...
a photo?
Ah! Mother... It's only natural for living creatures to fight to protect their own lives, but what makes us human is what we fight for is that we fight for others. But who do you fight for? How hard must you fight? That's the true measure of what human life is worth. We defense attorneys are warriors who are constantly challenged by that question. Oh, stop! That's the cutest photo of all time ever! Oh my god! Stop. That's so cute! Maya broke the thing and Mia's trying to put it back. Oh my god. Look at Mia with the little hair down. Oh! Even when the battle's over and the bonds that connect us are severed, we always return, time and time again. Mia, Maya, Pearls, Mr. Armando, and Maya's mother, too. I learned that from all of them. Stop. Well, shall we get going? Everyone is waiting. Ah. This is a day to remember, a day when a lot of things were finally put to rest. I think we should celebrate what we've overcome today. But I still can't. Oh, go on, sweetie. You can come back for training anytime. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna make a brand new start too. Sister Bikini, I'll be back for more training, I promise. I know, and I won't go easy on you just because you're the future master. I'll make sure to prepare reservations for 3 when you come back. Alright, we're gonna have a great feast today, Pearly. You know why? Because training is a battle of endurance. Okay, Mystic Maya. I like lots and lots of food tonight. You know, there's one thing I don't get, and probably don't want to, but... What is it, Nick? Reservations for training is fine and all, but why for 3? Come on, why do you think? You're one of us, Nick. Next time you can train right alongside us. Huh? I'll be waiting for you. Sister Bikini will take special care of you. Huh? Huh? It'll be great, Nick. We're going to do the special course, naturally. Huh? 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 That's a good idea after all, Mr. Nick. You'd do anything for Mystic Maya, wouldn't you? Even walk on hot coals, right? We'll have a nice big meal before we come next time, right, Nick? You know, I was wondering if I can say just one little thing. Sure, of course you can. I love this part. I can't wait to hear it. I'm getting goosebumps too. Well then, here goes nothing. Wow! Wow! Oh, it's not over yet. God damn it. I'll really have to work hard now. Master of Crime and the office manager of Brighton Cove Law Offices. I have to be a good big sister to Pearly and Nick too. Well, as long as I'm not locked up or captured or something like that. So it's true. Mr. Nick really is Mystic Maya's knight in shining armor. I went through with the special course all the way to the very end. Actually, I heard there's a legendary extra special ultra course here too. I think I'll surprise the 2 of them by making them a secret reservation. What I really want to know is if this was like this seems like they had planned for this to be the last Phoenix Wright, episode, right? Meg bought me a brand new coat as a present, pal. I feel 10 years younger. I'll never take it off. Yes, but some of you just don't seem the same. I guess the dirty, shabby old overcoat is just more detective-like, sir. Don't worry about it. In the name of love, a man will swear himself silly. So, were they planning for this to be the end of Phoenix Wright? And were they planning for this to be the end of Ace Attorney? I actually have no idea. So when I started playing, I think this was it. They only had these 3. I don't think Apollo had come out yet. I even got to see Miss Von Karma, who I hadn't seen for almost a year. She taught me how to use a whip and said that I must show you what I've learned. Okay, see, Adrian Andrews, Franziska is a good ship, but I've always been a Franziska Maya truther, so you know. I think Franziska's really a sweet girl, and I can't stand in fanfics. This scene I started called, "We're dedicated to stopping the evil plans of criminals in the city." Our motto is, "Cut it out, please!" Pretty cute, huh? Well, we also sell plans to the criminals as a kind of side business. I wonder if that's okay. Sometimes I think maybe we're the worst criminals. Fanfics always like are just like, oh yeah, she's just always like this, the foolish person, but like she's like so sweet. I understand where I got that opinion of her now. I wanted to show my appreciation to Mr. Wright for exterminating Don Tigre, so I lent him $500,000. A tea set, a special thick tea, one I mixed with in 2 hands. I bet he's drinking it now. Went through compromise. You know, they always make her one note, but you know, I understand why I thought of that of her. I can't understand why I thought of Edgeworth the way I did. I'm drinking it in the way. Grampy old at least that's what I thought. Grandkids had a birthday party for me the other day. Talk about embarrassing. 69 years old and I cried like a baby with a dirty diaper. 69. Who was that? The Viola? It was a girl from one of the cases. As usual, we have an abundance of work to do. We've hired a new programmer to replace Glenn Elg. I do hope everyone will get along. His name is Adam Mata. As soon as I heard his name, I knew our brain circuits would align perfectly. She's just a random character from one of the cases. She was also a random character from one of the cases. Oh, Fran Hatsune Miku. My, more reporters? Since the murder, we have made so much money, I hardly know what to do. I think the magazines like us because I provide such a nice visual, especially in spring. I can hardly wait for Iris to come back. Yeah, it's a good game series, you know? And like I said, or like I've said before, this isn't even like my favorite series. I like Apollo Justice a lot more than this. You've turned such a... It was so sweet of you to invite everyone else to come and visit me here the other day. Of course, I was happy that you constantly hide your eyes on me, but... I felt kind of bad when the little one slapped you so hard you got a nosebleed. Voice? Were there voices in this game? Oh, I guess so. I never really thought about that. Thanks, Sean King. Or Sion King. Yeah, Pearl thinks he's cheating on Maya. Objection! Yeah, so it's... I'll wait, I suppose. Thanks, David Crislip. What's this? I'm back from a long tired vacation. No one is to greet me. Guess what? I was gone. My little whippersnapper buddy quit, and now I've got no one. What kind of lonely, crazy security room is this supposed to be anyway? With all the flashing lights and switches, I feel like some sort of space alien. And what am I gonna do with all these mad academia nuts I brought back for everyone? If I bring the old Reggie Poo, I know exactly who I say this. I really can't accept these, I'm afraid, or something is just a fragile heart. Oh, when will I ever find someone who would treat me like a fine lady? White woman jump scare. True. Yeah, so I haven't actually remembered to look it up. I finally found something I love to do. Francis whippity whip trip and turn the art world on its head. I should have realized it sooner. Self-centered, lazy, and antisocial. I'm an artist. A really good portrait artist. I'm not a loser after all. Wow. I wouldn't go that far. Also, Maya's his daughter. That's his little sister, you know? That's his little sister. It's kind of weird, champ. I love seeing the drawings from because this is an old game. I think I played these games on the DS. I'm pretty sure. And like the art style is so funny to like look at because like they used like airbrushing and like that old of a game that they used airbrushing. Well, guys, that's Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney. I'm sorry, I was looking up Apollo Justice. That's Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, guys. Apollo Justice Ace Attorney is next. Which came out on the Nintendo DS in 2007. Okay, so I think I did play these series then when Apollo Justice had just come out. I guess Ow, the mic, did I yell? I'm sorry. Wait, what happened? Ow, what'd I do? What? I'm sorry? Question mark? It was like crunchy. Why? How? For how long? I look at my mic constantly. It's not like you're rubbing a balloon on it. Oh, I might have hit it with my mic. I mean, with my phone. Sorry. That's weird. Maybe I hit it with my coat. Well, I guess I'll see. That's weird. Hopefully it wasn't for that long. It could only have been like a few seconds though, right? Because I literally look at my microphone constantly just to see how loud I'm talking. Oh man, I feel bad. Anyway, I guess I must have played this because the hype was back up. I remember I'd seen Ace Attorney like advertisements for it, like the original one in my Nintendo magazine. I was like, that sounds stupid. I would never play Ace Attorney game. And I guess the Justice came out, but I don't think I played Justice until like 2000 and like 9 or 2012. No, oh my god, in between that, Mary, like 2000. What year would that have been? 2010. But I do personally, so Ace Attorney, they've wrapped up everything very nicely, I will say. As far as the game series go, I think they did a great job. All games, you know, they give me standalone games with overarchingly that are really good. I love all the characters of these games so much. I wish that fanfics would stop giving them like one-dimensional personalities. I don't know how. I can't believe that I liked Godot as a... I mean, I understand how I liked Godot as a kid, but... oh my god, is he unbearable now. Even knowing what I knew, that he's like this guy who like forgives Phoenix Wright and he's like, he loves Mia. Just everything about him is so annoying. What a pretentious asshole. I love all the characters though, besides him now. And it's really funny that like I said too, is that my view of Edgeworth was so like based around this game, I think. Because playing the games now, I'm like, how did I ever think that during like the first game he genuinely like had any empathy? I think he was genuinely like not a good guy. Not that he was like trying to protect himself, but like genuinely he just was not a good person until he realized, wait a minute, maybe what I'm doing is like not correct. And I think over time he's learned to be better. I think he's gone on a therapist is what it seems like. Anyway, so I can make sure everyone is like on the same page for the story because it's important for like the next game when we do start that eventually. I have to figure out how to stream, by the way, because I'm like trying to figure out where it is. They're just like, oh yeah, it's on the 3DS. Like, great, that doesn't help me. It is for iOS and Android in 2016, so maybe I can figure that out. think it's available, I think it might be available on the Switch. I'll have to look, but so we're all caught up. Franziska, sweetheart, love her, baby. Her and Maya get along very well. Obviously, she cares very deeply for Maya and like other women. She's just a lesbian. You know, she just cares about women. If you're not a woman, then, well, that sucks. Pearls, she becomes less annoying. Not that she's like super annoying, but like, yeah, you know, she's a child. Next game series, we're introduced to my favorite child character though, Trucy, who I would die for. Trucy, now Trucy is a video game child that I would gladly give my life for. I love her. You guys are gonna love her. But so yeah, so Miles left because he basically was like, yo, this court system is kind of fucked up. What's up with that, buddy? So he left and now he's in Germany or something. I think he's learning about court systems. And I'll probably review this like when we start the next series so you guys remember. But just know that that's what's happening. Edgeworth is like out there like learning other stuff because the court system obviously in this game, and I've talked about this before, is super duper fucked up. It doesn't make any sense. Why you have to prove someone's innocence via find someone else guilty? Very weird, right? We're all like the court system is very weird. Don't worry, all your concerns get addressed next game series, baby, and that's why I love it so much. Ace Attorney, though, really good. Very confusing. This game, I feel like the last one was pretty easy comparatively to the other ones, but just because like they didn't make the evidence that confusing. Just the thought processes, very confused. There's a lot happening there, but yeah, it's been a good time. Hopefully it's on the Switch, but we'll see. And if not, then I guess we'll just have to wait forever for Apollo Justice, which is my favorite one. But it gives me time because I have to learn how to do a German accent because Franziska and Edgeworth are already German and already should have had German accents. But Clavier and Kristoff literally like are German. Like they just are. Like I can't not have them be German. One of them literally just uses German words all the time. What am I gonna do? Not give him a German accent? Even though it's a fake German accent? You know, it could be a shitty German accent I do, because it is fake, sort of, technically. Lore-wise, it's kind of confusing how it works. But, yeah, it's been 8 hours and almost 20 minutes. I'm gonna go to bed now at 2:38 a.m. when I have to be up at 6:30 a.m. Whoops. Yeah, this will be uploaded to the VOD later, but I hope you guys have a good night. Thanks for staying with me on this journey. This real journey we had with this stupid trial, which didn't even need to happen. Had Godot not been a selfish little brat and just told somebody about it, maybe? Said anything? Destroyed the letter? Told Pearl? Told the police officer? Intervened in some way? Killed Morgan? I don't know. There's a lot of things that could have been done, really. I'll see you guys next time. The trial went everywhere. That is true. I'll see you guys on Sunday for Duck Duck Goose collab. Woo! Big collab. Very excited. People I've never played with before. Hopefully they don't hate me. You know, we'll have to see. I'll probably make them hate me. You know, that's how it goes sometimes. But have a good night, guys. Make sure you got your water in. Make sure you take your meds. Make sure you eat your vitamins. And I hope you have a very good night. Goodbye.